quite. Eli Hinton back to the bottom, 6 to go.
Makes a mistake again. He missed a shift. He's going to spin to the inside turn. He's going to take the lead.
Eli Hinton just got used up there in the hairpin.
For 2019, the 3WideRacing League RaceKings Cup Series lost about 200 horsepower from last year. This turned a lot of tracks into a near full-throttle experience, only lifting once tires and available grip began to burn off. And at places like Michigan Speedway, the full-throttle experience tends to last a little bit longer in the run, keeping the field locked together in a high-speed draft pack similar to Daytona or Talladega. The only thing that'll separate the field is a long run, and with plate-style draft packs, that's something we may or may not get. And we forgot something. It's a doubleheader. Twin 50-lap races tonight here at Michigan Speedway. My name's Kyle Heyer alongside Finian DeCuna for SimDV. Finian, doubleheader last night, a doubleheader tonight, on pavement this time.
Yeah, and you pretty much nailed it perfectly. The new package adjustment that NASCAR brought really pretty much turned this place into another version of Talladega and Daytona. And obviously, I mean, it's a pretty big track, too. It's 2 miles in length, so pretty big track. But yeah, especially with the replay with the new version of the track on iRacing with the new surface, it definitely lets these guys go a lot more on throttle and have a lot more grip to play with.
Michael Skinner filling in for Nathan Velez again after running pretty well last night in the Truck Series. Looking to have a good run here tonight in his first Cup Series event of the year. Also, the 29 of Derek Westrick in the number 29 machine, and he's new this evening with his Ford Mustang. A lot of Mustangs in the field, and a lot of cool-looking paint schemes out there as well. The 95 of Josh Adams, he was one of the other drivers involved in the calamity last week at Iowa, and he's back here this week and is ready to run this evening as qualifying gets underway. Time is just getting on the board, and it's right now at the top of the board, Race Clark and his number 22 as he comes on through, and that time was a 39.232, good enough for pole for the moment.
Yeah, we'll continue to see guys putting down times here. It's pretty much a foot to the floor here and just going the short way around, and really whoever gets lucky is here. And actually, Michael Skinner, another impressive run after last night, too. He's currently sitting on pole out of 12 drivers. We'll still see if he remains there, still have the field to go, but solid, really impressive stuff from that 48.
New paint on board the 56 to Tate Lytle here this week. A white paint scheme, and the first time I think we've seen this all year, comes across the line. Where will he go? Only 15th quick right now, which is slowest, but I think the second lap is where people are finding the speed. Running almost plate track-esque qualifying procedures. The first lap up top, the second lap kind of middle to the bottom, and that's what Lytle's doing right now.
Yeah, so he's going to want to be much further up the pecking order. We'll see how this run goes for him.
Off into the corner, again, full throttle, over 180 miles an hour, but how long do you think that's going to last throughout the run?
Honestly, it's kind of something yet to be seen. I think they could last quite a while, but as Lytle all the way down the apron, he comes across the line and up into third for the 56.
Wow, good effort there by him. Paul Ross just jumping in. Had some computer issues, but he will make it into the race. The question is, will he get to be able to put down a time? And my guess is yes, but just barely. He's going to have about a minute to get around a 39-second racetrack, and he's going to come around turn 4 and start his lap. He's only going to have a couple seconds to spare, but he'll only get one opportunity to make a lap.
Yep, and here comes his one, as you said, his one and only attempt to start a lap. Yeah, he's definitely going to probably be more towards the back. Yeah, definitely the momentum builds up throughout the run. You definitely want both of them, but Ross doesn't have that luxury, unfortunately.
Through turns 1 and 2, a little tight off the exit of 2 for the 18 of Ross. And again, he doesn't have the opportunity to go better a second time through. Take a look at our conditions. 81 in the air, but it's humid out there, Finian, on a 107-degree track temp. That's pretty hot, and that might kind of speed up the tire wear a little bit and make it make the field kind of spread out a bit quicker than they otherwise would. So Ross going to come through turns 3 and 4 across the line. His one opportunity to make a lap. What will it be? 39.568. He's going to be starting pretty deep in the field, but a lot of people didn't qualify. Interesting there.
Yeah, I think this is a lot of people foreseeing what's to come here. We said it's pretty much like Daytona Talladega, and we are not kidding. These guys are going to be going 2-3 wide for quite a bit, at least in the opening part of this race. We'll see how green it remains, but I think a lot of guys being cautious, mainly Grunberg, Adams, Salmaso, Zelensky, Robert Hill, Wilson, guys we normally see at the front of the field there, electing to start in the back.
All right, I'm going to do one more little adjustment before we go green here. So we're going to jump to break for literally 10 seconds. We'll be right back. Stay put for the start of the race. And we're good. Finian does cameras for us. I just forgot to load them in, so we have the right ones now. And there's the grid cam that Finian put together for us, and the whole field lining up on the pit lane for the start of this one, Finian. And Michigan is a wide racetrack. It's a fast racetrack, but it's not really wrong to say that there's a lot of room for error here. It's not a very tight racetrack. Now, that being said, when you put 5 or maybe 6 cars wide here, it's going to get real tight real fast. So it's a 50-lap race treated as 2 separate races. So there's going to be a 50-lap race that we're going to start right now. After that, we're going to do another 50-lap race, and they will count as 2 separate events, qualifying for each. What do you do in race 1 here? I mean, do you just go for broke, or do you just kind of hang tight? Because nothing transfers from race 1 to 2, so there's really no reason to be conservative necessarily. So what's your strategy for starting in the middle of the pack?
Yeah, I think you nailed the hammer on the head. I think is that as I say. We're confident going into that thing.
The nail on the head with the hammer.
But yeah, basically, you pretty much said exactly that. These guys need to really pretty much get on it immediately. 50 laps is not a lot of time. If this was a normal, if there's just one single race, 100 laps, you know, I'd say take it easy in the start, let the field thin out, and then start to climb up your way. We've definitely seen a lot of guys take advantage of the run, but it's only 50 laps. That's not a lot of time, especially if we go green. And I know these guys know what they're doing, so there's a good chance of that. So if your guy is starting in the back, that's going to be kind of tough for you to move yourself up in the front. It's a big field of cars here.
Yeah, over 30 machines starting this event. And you see Justin Kolb the 52. We've been talking about him in recent weeks. He's definitely been kicking up the performance notch quite a little bit. So he'll start P8. Derek Westrick in his first race of the season starting in 10th in that number 29 Ford Mustang. A good qualifying effort there. But again, a lot of people didn't qualify, treating it very much like a plate race here. I don't think it's going to be tricky to pass the first couple laps, but a lot of conversation is going to revolve around aero push later in the run, Finian. How do you negotiate that? How do you get your car around the one in front of you once everyone's strung out?
I think really it's going to take a lot of patience and a lot of perseverance. It also takes a lot of skill too. You need to know how you want to place the car, especially once the tires start to wear out, and how to run your line and get out of the guy behind you. You want to get some nice clean air coming to your nose, coming to this, all the aero parts on your car to help navigate through these corners. These guys are going to be going through these corners at a high rate of speed.
Yeah, they're not really going to slow down a whole lot from the straightaway to the corner. We've been seeing speeds in the draft about 187 to 188 miles an hour, speeds in the middle of the corner, about 175 to 180 depending on how late you are in the run. So field rolling through turns 3 and 4, only 1 pace lap here. Again, 50 laps on the board. If it goes green all the way to the end, which is possible here, it'd be a 32.5-minute race, but that's not the only one we have to do tonight. There's another one coming up right after it. It's Michael Skinner filling in for Velez on the pole, and on the outside of the front row, it's the 15 of Chad Frankenfield Watkins Glen adorning the hood of that Ford Mustang as we roll through 3 and 4. It's time to go racing here at Michigan. I think we should go silent for the first lap here, Finney, and just listen to the roar of the engines as they come to the green. Green flag flies, and we're going to be racing at Michigan. And we're going to come out of that quiet for a moment, and I think that you've seen some cars spin towards the rear. And I believe it was the 18 of Paul Ross that went around Finian, so not a great start for him, but we stay green for the moment.
Yeah, race control deciding it was a single car incident. Didn't want to throw a caution out for that, but I saw some other Mustang get involved in that heavily.
Yeah, let's quickly take a gander at what happened, and it was all, I'm not really sure what happened here. It was the 27 of Cogswell. Everyone kind of checked up. Ross didn't see it, neither did Lafferty. And it was another Mustang involved. I didn't exactly see who it was, but it's chaos up front. Lytle's on the apron, Finney. Did he have a problem?
I don't know if he has a problem or if he just probably decided to Actually, he got loose in turn 3, and so that's why he was so slow off the corner.
Yeah, getting out of the scariness here, early going to 64 and Chad Brown to the inside down in turn number 1. Actually, No, it's Todd Smith in the 64. Sorry for that. The 22 of Ray Smith jumps to the outside lane and trying to carry that momentum down the back straight, but very much like a plate race at the front here for now.
Yeah, because these guys forming lines trying to get with each other, and they're slowly spreading each other out, giving each other room here. But man, these guys are getting intense up in the front.
Yeah, Justin Kolb in the middle in that bright pink car. And that's really a no man's land. There's not a lot of air in the middle of the racetrack. Race Clark scrapes the wall out of turn 4. Michael Skinner with a big shove from Frankenfield on the front straight. He's going to carry over 190 miles an hour off into turn number 1.
Todd Smith trying to wrestle the lead away from Michael Skinner. He's going to come off the corner. Skinner trying to get that big run on the back straightaway, almost dooring each other down the back straightaway.
2 Ford Mustangs and a Camaro lead the field here early. And the field beginning to get spread out. There's a couple of cars battling really 4th on back to 10th. And then it's Wetstrick, and then really nobody for a little while. Ruberg in 17th after starting 22nd. He's up 5 spots already. You can see up the racetrack all that chaos. I think right now this is a good, safe place to be.
Yeah, I think that big checkup on the start really spread out the field already. That's why we're seeing the pack kind of relatively small numbers toward the front of the field.
Chuck Sweeting hardware issues, and for Josh Adams didn't even start the race actually. At least I don't have a lap time recorded for him in that 95, so will not be able to make a lap. Meanwhile, for the top spot, it's Todd Smith to the inside of Michael Skinner. For the lead, they're both going for the middle of the racetrack. Only one car can fit there. Frankenfield sits behind. Which line do you pick?
He's going to go down in behind. Nope, he's going to be swerving all over the place. He's going to go back up at the 48. Looks like he's liking that car so far.
Cross the line to complete lap number 4. So it's been aggressive here early. An incident on the first lap with Paul Ross and the 8th Richard Lafferty. But they've all continued. The 64 washes up out of turn 2, almost gets into the side of the 15, but they're going to string out now single file.
Yeah, so Justin Kobe got loose off of turn 2. He's going to drop back to the back of the pack.
Yeah, so it looks like everyone just trying to find racing room here early, and there's enough racetrack here, and it's a new enough pavement that it's going to be grippy, and you're going to be able to make a lot of moves. But Frankenfield drops all the way to the apron at the start-finish line. He takes the lead at the line just by an inch over Michael Skinner, and look at the 64. He's going to drop to the inside, maybe 3 wide for the lead. Here we go.
Yeah, this is where it starts to get dicey here, going 3 wide here. Got to watch the wash off the corner, and then you see Todd Smith going to merge off, but you see how much momentum he loses compared to the 40 and the 15.
Yeah, he's going to be under attack from Race Clark now off into turn 3. Clark's going to sit in behind him, but for that top spot, Frankenfield right on the door of the 48. They're using up every little bit of racetrack. I think the middle is really the preferred groove here, and they're going to get really tight off of turn 4. Skinner comes down. Frankenfield's going to dive for the apron on the front straight, lap number 7.
Yeah, as it came across the line there, gap between the leaders, 1,000th of a second separating them at the line. Oh, they almost, when they doored each other.
Yeah, that was pretty dicey there for a moment. Here comes Smith back to the bottom, going for the lead.
And doesn't look like, he's just going to have enough, but the 48 with the better run, 3 wide on the back straightaway.
Wow, 3 wide for the top spot, kind of overlapping halvesies, and here comes the 22 of Race Clark. He's going to get into the fight again, go way up high caution behind him, and all the way at the back, it's Zielinski, and he's going to nose into the safer barrier, and the bad luck will continue for this 6. Not a good way to start his night. Looks like a single car incident only. Here's a look at what happened. Oh, all on his own. Just got loose coming up off the corner and got behind and trying to save it. And that's a scary feeling as a race car driver heading towards that safer barrier. Almost had it saved. And then all the way down to that safer.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised the way this accident happened, because I thought, maybe he got loose just being the dirty air from everyone in front of him, but there was a decent gap between him and the next group of cars. So yeah, it was a little bit surprising, this accident.
Riding on board, I'm surprised at how long he stayed in the throttle trying to save it. I think if he had backed out and lifted a little bit sooner, he might have been able to keep it out of the fence. But for Zielinski, some damage to repair on that car. I think we're going to see pit stops here, you think?
I don't know. It kind of, only these guys really know how bad their tires are, or at least how bad it feels. So we'll see. I think the general consensus here is most people are going to come down pit road. Here comes the 48.
Yeah, I think we're going to want tires to just keep the rotation in your machine, and I don't see anybody staying out at the moment. So the whole field's going to come down.
And the thing is with this package, these guys aren't probably going as fast in some places of the track, but the high quartering speeds that these guys are putting, it's putting a massive load on these tires. So definitely going to want to try to come and get some when you can.
The field in for their pit stops. And we've all pretty much fifth of the way complete, 20% done with this race when we come back around to the line. So this race already going pretty quickly. I foresee green flag runs, and that was actually kind of a surprise that incident even occurred in the first place. It wasn't like it was, you know, a big mess of cars that got together. It was just a single car incident. So I think we'll see long green flag runs in this race. Ooh, in the back, I think that was the, I think it was Johnny Thomas. Got all sorts of sideways. Yes, it was, leaving his box, but he'll roll out P8. Skinner retains the lead. Frankenfield, Close, Smith, Race Clark, their top 5. And got to watch that cone. The exit of turn 2. Stay below that yellow and white line. And rejoin the racetrack. But 9 laps in, Finian, I think the consensus so far is that it seems like it's kind of difficult to pass. I didn't think it would be that tricky, but it looks like people are kind of struggling, and you need a lot of help in the draft and by the other driver to make a mistake.
Yeah, I think definitely if when you're in the pack, getting behind everyone, it's a little bit easier, kind of similar to Daytona in that way. You can kind of just draft off of people, use the momentum, and flying around people. Once you get to the front, I think that's really where it seems to, a lot of the struggle seems to be coming from, which is going to be interesting, especially for the leader coming to the white flag, coming to the end of this race, because it looks like they're in the most favorable position.
And I think this caution definitely benefits the driver of the 18, Paul Ross, and got some damage repair. Looks like he's almost going to go a lap down, but he's going to get that car repaired and stay on the lead lap, as we thought we were going to get the one to green there, but we didn't. So we'll go around 2 more times before we double file back up. Skinner pulling off for a second. That worried me. The yellow flag in hand at the starter stand for our first incident of the night on lap number 8. It was Levi Zielinski spinning off of turn 2. Car got behind in the control and just spun out, and has since recovered that machine and has some damage on it. Let's take a look and see how bad the damage is. It looks like it's relatively repaired, but it's certainly not going to have the amount of downforce it had at the start of the race.
Yeah, the other driver that was involved with Paul Ross, that was Jordan McKeeboy. He's got pretty decent damage to the right side of his machine.
Yeah, right front and right rear. Then Richard Lafferty was the one that got into the back of Paul Ross, and his front end damage is a little worse than even Zielinski, so that was pretty hard contact there. Tate Lytle, on the initial start of the race, got loose and slips backwards very quickly, but he's going to restart 9th. This is a pretty good pick any night in the 3WideRacing League to pick him as a winner, and ran competitively last night in the Truck Series races, and he's been very good all year long and been able to take it to Gruenberg, but didn't get a great start, so he'll get to kind of reset himself here, go again to try to get to the top spot, but he's my pick to win this race.
Yeah, honestly, he's not too shabby of a pick. In fact, he actually climbed up all the way back to 7 before that caution came out, and was looking like he would be able to climb up a couple more spots. Unfortunately, made an error on pit lane, slid through his pit box and lost 2 position, but definitely think with the speed and talent that this 56 driver has, I think he should be able to get the spots back in no time again. Though we gotta always watch, as usual, that yellow 54 Matt Gruenberg up into 13th after starting in 22nd.
So 1 to green, lights are off on the FR500 pace car. Going to double file again. Skinner's going to choose the inside lane. I think that's the obvious choice here. The shorter way around when you're full throttle is the best way to be.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when these guys are still getting up to speed. Much easier to run that lower line. I think that's probably the more favorable line immediately on these restarts.
Yeah, taking a look again from the sky, there's a lot of cloud cover out here. It's mostly cloudy conditions at the moment. I'm just surprised the track is so warm with the cloud cover, and it's only 81 in the air, so the track is definitely very hot, I guess, owing mostly to that dark color from the recent pave, but definitely seems pretty temperature sensitive today and is going to stay hot for most of the night. Working down the back straightaway, coming back to the green. Lap number 12, we'll have our restart. It'll be about 25 minutes of racing to go. And after 8-lap run, I think we're kind of due for a long one here. And we'll see how the restart fares this time. Everyone in the rear trying to watch out for that accordion effect that caught out Paul Ross and Richard Lafferty. Hopefully that won't happen again. Here we come. And Pace car rolls off. It's rounds 12 and 13 tonight in the RaceKings Cup Series. This is round 12. 11 laps complete of 50. We're past the 20% mark. And looks like Michael Skinner's going to launch, and green flag is back in the air here at Michigan.
That's a great start for the 48, but I think Frankville actually might have gotten a better jump as they both race off into turn 1. Can Frankville use the momentum on the outside? It's a little bit early for that as they all race down and start to pile up.
You might try to cross him over here at the exit of turn 2. For now, he's going to sit in line. He's been helping this 48 so far. He's really been tucked in behind him and giving him pushes more than he's been battling for the lead with them, but they're going to line astern down the back straightaway. Look at the 64 of Todd Smith. He's been really aggressive so far. Sam Close inside the top 5 here earlier. Going to fan out into turn 3.
Oh, but here they go. Whoa! The 5 of Sam Close makes a daring move on the inside of the 48. Almost gets into him, but he's going to continue.
22 hard in the fence on the front straight, right in front of the field, and Kolb's going to clobber him on the front straight, and more cars involved. And that's big damage to a couple cars. That's Derek Westrick in the 29, first start in the series, and that'll be terminal damage for the 29 machine. Frank Sims also involved. He'll roll away with pretty significant right and left front damage. Race Clark already back in the pit. Stephen Kettman, I think, got away with maybe a little bit of damage. I'm not sure if he was directly involved, but I do see some damage on that car. But for Clark, what happened there out of turn 4?
Yeah, I'm looking at the replay. I think we might want to look at the 64 of Todd Smith. I think he was the one that initiated that.
Here's a look as they exit turn 4. We'll look at this in slow motion as well. Oh, the 64 just turns left. It just hooks him into the wall. And the 52 of Kolb had nowhere to go, and neither did Westrick.
Yeah, I think definitely Todd Smith mistimed. I think he was trying to fall as soon as he could in behind the 22. He started to get the draft off of him, but mistimed that, clipped the 22, and nothing Race Clark can do but be a passenger.
Yeah, he really mistimed it. It wasn't really even that close, and just clobbered the 22. And then Kolb, nowhere he could go, and drills him. And then the 75 made contact, and Westrick clobbers the 22 in the nose. So big damage there for all involved. And everything's happened so fast. We'll ride on board with Westrick here, and you'll get a pretty good idea of what the event looked like. And here he is driving into the wreck. Sees look like they're going to part, and all of a sudden the 22 appears right in front of him, and the engine instantly blown. Now we're right on board with Frank Sims as well.
Yeah, Race Clark not too happy, not too big of a fan of the 64 at the moment.
No, you can't really blame him for that. I mean, it was definitely on the 64. I think it was too early to be cutting it that close, and it tore up a lot of good race cars. A spin to the inside for the 75. Frank Sims might have something salvageable, but everyone else in that wreck pretty much totaled, and I think that's Frank Sims going to call it a night there, actually. So, unfortunate second caution of the evening on the restart here. But Skinner hangs on to the lead. How about Sam Close with that aggressive move down to the inside? That was a daring move. Almost made contact with the leader.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all, but so far it's paid off. He's up into second place. We'll be restarting in second as well, so he's definitely trying to make a name for himself here. I think he wanted to join that battle between the 48, the 15, and the 14.
So caution out for the second time today. I think we should grab somebody to talk to him. If we could find... who should we talk to?
I don't know.
Pick someone, bring him in here. I don't care who it is.
Alright. If I could find him. There he is.
Hey, 56, Tate Lytle, you got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, so far, so good for you in that 56. A little bit of a bobble there on the opening laps, but a recovery back up to 8th. What you got out here, and how's it racing so far?
Good now. Almost wrecked there on lap 1, but we're chilling now.
Does the aero push seem to be affecting the car a whole lot once you get into the run a little bit, or does it not really seem to be a big factor?
Well, the longest run we've had right now is about 7 laps, so I really don't even know.
All right, well, Tate Lytle, good luck out there. Keep yourself out of trouble, and hopefully we'll talk to you a little bit later.
Thanks, guys.
All right, he's definitely in race car driver mode there, feeling very focused at the moment. Coming across the line to complete lap number 15. And no one's going to dive down to pit road. So I think we're all just going to... We didn't really get more than a lap or two a green flag there, so I think that's going to be the case as everyone stays out. Robert Hill Jr. was quickest in practice, or one of the quickest cars in practice, and he's back in 13th, and that number 61 has a win in the Truck Series back at Watkins Glen, and runs 13th at the moment after starting in 27th. So that's a great climb forward for that 61 machine.
Yeah, definitely done a great job so far. As running a part-time schedule for the Cup Series, has only made a few other starts, notably at Bristol and Dover, of which he finished in 4th.
So Paul Ross went a lap down, repairing his damage, and we'll see if he's going to be able to get that lap back out of the point throughout this race. But I guess I can't say I'm too surprised to see a yellow happen out here early from a result of car contact, but I would have thought we would get some green flag racing, but guys got to give each other a little bit of room out there just to get spread out. Once you get 3 or 4 laps under your belt, it gets easy. It just gets way more difficult to complete the pass, and then you'll see the frustration start to set in later in the night. So 30 drivers exactly took the green flag tonight, and we've lost about 4 or 5 of them early in the going. Kolb, Sims, Westrick, Clark, and Adams this early in the race.
Yeah, not to mention also Chuck Sweeting too had problems earlier after a great qualifying in 9th. Unfortunately, he won't be joining us at least for race 1. Hopefully he can fix whatever problem he has and rejoin us for race 2.
Hopefully that gets solved. Race number 2 again is also going to be 50 laps long. And we've completed 17, closing in on halfway already. Remember, there's halfway points awarded at lap number 25. And we'll see if the 64, Todd Smith, can rebound from that mistake and have a clean run from here on out tonight. He's running really well. He's got to be really careful because that caution will be on him. If you get yourself in another one, Finney, you will get yourself parked. And for Smith, this is a good run. You don't want to sabotage it by making silly moves. So hopefully that 64 learned from that, and he can complete all the laps tonight.
Yeah, he was really fortunate that he pretty much took effectively no damage from that wreck at all, although I feel like he might have a bit of a bounty on his head from the 22 race Clark, as they're going to go at it immediately after this race. We'll see what the 22 he ends up having the final laugh.
The other day I heard people talking about deposits and withdrawals on the NBC broadcast, and I think right there the 22 made a deposit, and I think he might make a withdrawal here in the next race. So he's got a couple to spare, I believe. So we'll see if there's any retaliation. But he's got to do it discreetly. I think we saw last week at Iowa between the 95 and the 48. If you don't make it discreet, you'll get yourself in trouble. If you make it discreet, you might be okay. Pace car pulls off. Michael Skinner leads the field back down again. He's going to be on the inside like he was the last restart. And firing back off. We're racing again here at Michigan.
Yep, and green flag back in the air. Second place, not as good of a start. Sam Close now duking it out with Chad Frankenfield as everyone gets sorted out into turn 1.
Tanner Sharp in the 3 down to the inside. Meanwhile, behind, that's Todd Smith on the outside of Johnny Thomas in that 83. Last night ran the Truck Series event. Probably thought we would have seen a bit more of him out of race number 2. Certainly he ran well in race number 1, but for the lead, Frankenfield drops to the bottom with help from the 3 of Tanner Sharp on the back straight.
Yeah, Tanner Sharp starting to get himself back in front. Haven't seen a whole lot of the 3
whoa, Tate Lytle all out of shape again in turn 3. Saves it, but it was all sorts of sideways through the middle of the corner. Great save, but he's going to lose all his track position again.
Yeah, we saw this happen to him exactly on the initial start of the race, same part of the track.
Ooh, down to the inside. The 3 slips up middle of the corner. That's Kevin Finn right on his bumper as they exit turn 2. Got the lead.
I see Zelensky was really loose off of turn 1. He's going to keep it collected.
And kind of dicey here. Looks like drivers are fighting loose conditions, and the track temp is still where it was at the start of the race, but very turbulent air out there right now, making everybody really slippery. And look to the bottom of the racetrack. Here goes Skinner again to the top side.
Yeah, Skinner going down low, and now here comes Sam Close up the middle to the outside of the 40. He comes. He'll clear Chad Frankenfield entering turn 1.
Tanner Sharp with a big head of steam off the bumper of the 83, tucks in behind Frankenfield. That's a group of about 7 cars there, that all the way back to the 64 of Todd Smith. Oh, Stephen Kettman on a turn 2 got a shove from I believe that was Paul Ross potentially in the 18. Down into turn 3, close leads. A bunch of Ford Mustangs up here with a Camaro and Tanner Sharp trying to split them up. Todd Smith back to the high side in turn 4.
Yeah, unfortunately, F3 is a bit outnumbered as more Mustangs are coming up behind him. He's got Kevin Finn now to his inside, trying to take the spot away. Ooh, Tanner Sharp in the middle, 3 wide. It's going to get tight.
That got really tight. Frankenfield giving the drivers room on the outside. There's Matt Grunberg hunting for that yellow line on the bottom. Then it's Johnny Thomas right behind him, and Todd Smith is going to give him a big shove down the back straight. So, no, in front of him. No, the leaders go around in front of the entire field. There they go. It's going to wad up a lot of cars in this one. And Frankenfield's destroyed. What happened there, Finian? That was a mess.
Yeah, that was a bit. There's a bit of netcode involved in that.
Let's go back and take a look again. Not a lot of room given here early, and this time. Oh yeah, the 15 just came off the wall a little too much, Finian. And even without the netcode, you could probably put that on the 15 and just so many cars. Johnny Thomas in it, and others. Just a big, big mess. A lot of cars involved. This is gonna take a little while to dissect this and see how many cars.
Fortunately, we have a lot of time because these piece-ups are stupidly long.
Yeah, they are really long here. So again, the 15 spins, the 83 gets into it, the 91. I believe, is that who's in that black car? Is that Derbyshire? Yes, it is Derbyshire. But yeah, let's go back and watch maybe from on board the 15. We get a better perspective from his on board. Yeah, it got really close to the wall. It came up about a foot, and the 3 car was holding up the 15 just a little bit too much. Just both drivers not really giving enough room here, and you see the end result of that. And here's another look again. We'll watch this in slow motion this time and try to dissect all the different cars that got involved. I know Johnny Thomas got a big piece of it as they came off turn 2. There's the 3 washes up the racetrack, but he does leave the 15 a lane here, and the 15 comes off. Yeah, there's net code, but he did come off. The 48 car gets wrecked. The 3 of Tanner Sharp. I think Grunberg managed to sneak his way through. Did he not? He did. The 83, the 61 of Robert Hill Jr. got drilled as well, and that was a huge impact for him into the inside wall. Watching again from the 61's point of view. Almost made it through. And how about for someone towards the rear of the field? How about Richard Hines is on board? Hines is actually sideways through 1 and 2 already. Sees the wreck in front of him. Caution lights on and just trying to wade your way through a big mess on the back straight. Watch one more from the onboard of Austin Derbyshire, who got kind of pinned against the wall with the 15. Here's his view. Third caution of the night, and a lot of the field taken out in that one. Tanner Sharp takes over the lead. Richard Lafferty and Johnny Thomas, but both those cars, Johnny Thomas certainly needs to pit, so does Tanner Sharp. I'm not really sure what the strategy is here, or maybe hoping for everyone to pit and maybe pick up a point to salvage the night.
Yeah, I think he's just looking. The fact is, once we complete the next lap through, we'll be at halfway or complete halfway, and he can pick up the points, at least salvage something considering how damaged that car is.
Well, for a lot of the drivers that were towards the rear of the field, they're loving this because some of the front runners just got taken out. Skinner, Frankenfield, and others all wrecked. That's kind of turned over. How about Carlos Acosta? He's running inside the top 5 right now. Kevin Finn, and Acosta's actually the highest running car that's got no clear damage. Corey Lindsay's running up here as well. Sam Close, Matt Grunberg made it through. Kevin Finn, Luis Lamasso, and Tate Lytle. He's really been struggling on the restarts, but he'll gain a couple spots and all that.
Yeah, and remember too, on that restart, Lytle slipped back after getting sideways and turned through. That kind of was a benefit for him, as he was behind this mess and outside of the main pack, so he had more time to plan and avoid that incident.
Yeah, sometimes issues like that are blessings in disguise. You don't realize it until 5 laps later. The whole field wads up on the exit of 2, and you weren't in it, and you would have been if you didn't have that issue. So for the 56, dodged a bullet there. Hopefully he can continue dodging them for the rest of the night. Coming across the line, and we'll see if this is 1 or 2 to green. Because if this is 1 to green, which it will be, all these damaged cars are going to be at the front of the field. And they're just going to try to get the points, but they're going to be in the way. I'm sure these cars are down on power.
Yeah, what I think is going to happen, I think a lot of them are going to try to make it across the line, and then once we do get across the line, I think, at least I hope quite a few of them, mainly Johnny Thomas and Dan Sharp, I think they're going to try to pull off to the side of the track, let everyone race on by.
Well, I think they will. I don't think they're going to be able to make it there before they get run over from behind, because I don't know if the drivers in the rear have been communicated to that all those cars up front are destroyed, or I don't even know if they know how bad the damage is on those front couple of cars. So they have to keep in mind that especially that inside lane with the 83 is probably not going to go anywhere. So you have to be very careful of that you don't run into the back of somebody on the restart. So Tanner Sharp leads this race. He's actually going to choose the outside for the restart. Lafferty in second. Carlos Acosta's in third. I think this the third place car, the 24, is really in the best spot to take over the lead, but Sam Close is lurking there as well. We've already seen him be unafraid to be aggressive in the early going. Halfway through when we get to the start-finish line.
Yeah, a lot of different names up in the front, as you're saying earlier, considering that wreck mix up the field. Corey Lindsay up in fifth. He's got a good chance of winning this race here as we come to halfway.
This restart's going to be really interesting. Some damaged cars staying out for the halfway points. Tanner Sharp in the outside row. Oh, they're getting dicey at the start. Firing back up, green flag back in the air, and everyone on their toes here. The 83 going to stack up that inside line. Can't change lanes before the restart.
Yep, and there goes Johnny Thomas to the inside. Tanner Sharp going to continue to lead the field down. Richard Lafferty behind. Carlos Acosta in third.
And it'll be interesting to see if they'll view that 83 as changing lanes before the start, because he did drop to the apron. I don't know if that was before or after the start-finish line, but it was close. Sharp to the inside, and here comes Carlos Acosta right behind Lafferty. This 24 car has not had a really great season, looking to gain another spot and lead a lap here at Michigan.
Yeah, Tanner Sharp struggling to, I'm curious if he's actually going to try to come down on pit road, if he's going to stay out there, losing a lot of time.
I think most of Tanner Sharp's damage was from the previous wreck. I think he got a little bit in that last one, but he might stay out here for now. Johnny Thomas, however, is going to stay out on the racetrack too. He's just going to roll. So he'll stay out with the damaged race car. Here comes Close to the inside of the 2 leaders. He's going to go for the top spot down in turn 1. Oh, spin behind the 64. And more torn up race cars. And the 39, oh man. Zielinski in it. Wilson in it. Paul Ross in it again. And Ross had just gotten back on the lead lap. And the 64 of Todd Smith hit it again. And let's take a look and see what happened this time. And did this start with the 64 or did it start? Oh, that was Kloosterhoos in the 94, I believe, that started all that. And the 39, nowhere he could go. So Wilson gets tagged, drills the fence right in front of the 2, and other cars involved here. So our 4th caution of the night. These guys struggling to get green flag underway, and this is just coming off of Iowa. This has been, they started off the season really well, Finian, but it's just been a really poor run for these cars. They just can't seem to get green flag runs in. You're going ooh for what reason?
Ooh for a reason, because Todd Smith was just awarded blame for that incident. He's going to have to park it for tonight.
Wow. Okay, that's not necessarily the way I thought it was going to go. I think that was on the 94 a little bit as well, but what's your opinion?
I was thinking it was, if anything, leaning a little bit more into Todd Smith. Klooster's was, I think, because Klooster's is kind of maintaining his line a little bit more with the pack. Judging by the cars around, it looked like Todd Smith turned a little bit more aggressively inwards.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
I was looking at it kind of from a side angle, so I didn't really see the 64 come over, but I'll take the word for it. So Todd Smith disqualified, and this is the second disqualification we've seen this weekend due to crash-related damages. And like I said, this has just been a really rough month for the 3WideRacing Cup Series drivers, struggling to get green flag runs in. And you know what really sucks about this is everyone starts to lose trust in each other and stop giving each other room because everyone thinks that they're going to do something silly. And that just kind of exacerbates the issue. So pit stop's underway. We will jump to break here in a moment to take a break. But Richard Hines down on pit lane, he actually got through that with relatively minimal damage considering he was in the thick of it there on that yellow. So field rolling back off. Close maintains the lead here. Richard Lafferty second. Grunberg up into third. His points lead only getting larger by the week, Finian. Just playing it smart, keeping himself out of trouble.
Yeah, I think that's really the name of the game. And he's already in on wins with the system in the Cup Series. It's the NASCAR Cup Series version when you get in. And dominating that. Same thing with Frankenfield, too. They're both tied with 3 wins. So they're definitely good. Even Paul Ross, too. He's fine with 2 wins. A lot of these other guys, though, especially considering how many cars were involved in wrecks, I think a lot of guys like Corey Lindsay, Carlos Acosta, this is their opportunity to try to take a win away here and get themselves into the playoffs, lock that spot in.
So pit stop's complete. Acosta back to 8th place. And we're going to jump to break momentarily. We'll be back for the restart here in just a minute. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back live to SimTV. Coming up to the restart here after, I believe, our 4th caution of the night. 16 laps of yellow in the first 31 laps of the event. 20 to go. It'll be 19 at the restart. Richard Lafferty and Sam Close are going to share the front row for the restart. Expectations here, Finney. You think people are going to start giving an inch, or you think it's still going to be the same?
I think people are going to start giving it an inch, and I think also, again, with the sheer amount of cars that are damaged, I think no matter what we do, I mean, you can just look behind the race car. There's not that many people left after all the incidents that happened. I think should clean out, hopefully, for the rest of this run.
Yeah, we're actually closing in and only having half the field left. If we get down to 15 or 16 cars, that would only mean two or three more need to get involved in incidents. Chad Frankfield back out of the racetrack, 6 laps down, trying to stay that way so he doesn't get booted from the race. And coming back to the restart, it'll be 19 laps to go, and we're launching again here at Michigan.
Yeah, but Sam Close off to a fantastic start. Grunberg going to follow his way on through, and I see in behind, Luis Almaso hasn't really done a whole lot this race. Here he comes to the inside, Richard Lafferty, trying to take third.
Yeah, Almaso was just kind of hanging out the first little bit of the race, and now it's go time here. I think the field's cleaned out enough that he feels he can move his way up, and now it's a couple 3OG racing cars near the top of the board. Sam Close, Luis Almaso. There's the 24 of Acosta on the inside of the back straight. That's Dave Hunt to his outside, and Tate Lytle trying to recover from his slips and slides earlier in the night. Trying to keep that thing under control this time through as he loses the air on the nose, but he will keep it planted this time and go for third on the exit of the corner.
He's going to keep on trying, Salmaso dogging him, but meanwhile up in the front, Grunberg with the run on Close there side by side, and here comes third and fourth place to join the battle.
Yeah, off into turn one, that's Grunberg on the outside lane. Will it prevail, or is the inside still the place to be? I think the inside is, but the 5's going to slide up. Nope, the 54 is going to get the great run off the corner. Tate Lytle and Luis Almaso side by side, 2 by 2 for the top spot.
Yeah, Carlos Acosta, he slipped off of turn 2, got a little bit of the arrow push, and just lost the grip off the nose, and around he went.
Coming back to 17 laps to go, Lafferty in the 8, looking middle, 3 wide off the corner. The 53 of Dave Hunt goes evasive there on the corner exit to the start-finish line. By a nose, it's the 54. He leads a lap here in Michigan. And Close and the 56 of Lytle bump drafting down into turn 1.
Sam Close gonna walk up the hill just a little bit. Grunberg throwing it in there to the outside. He goes Lytle now to the inside, but Salmaso also with a great run is gonna help out Grunberg.
Yeah, Grunberg getting a big shove from that 3OG racing car. Sam Close middle, 3 wide, down into turn 3. It's gonna get dicey as they all come together on corner exit. These guys giving each other a lot more room, though, than they were previously, and it looks like Grunberg's going to come out on top. Tate Lytle up to second place, but now the 3OG cars line up in the outside groove. Lytle drops to the inside to draft off the 1-sim car. Corey Lindsay sits in 5th right now in that 0-0, just kind of watching and observing to see where he can put his car to be quickest.
And again, you got a lot of guys here in this pack who have a chance. And how about Klooster is just peeling outside of Lafferty. And here he comes to the inside now and also trying to pass Corey Lindsay, his teammate.
Yeah, that's Blurry Motorsports teammates there. And Lindsay probably in the more preferred groove and has a little bit of draft off the corner. But Klooster, who's trying to side draft a little bit off the teammate. Now everyone chasing each other to the apron on the front straight, trying to take the short way around. Salmaso stays on the course, though, and gets a draft from Lytle. 15 laps to go. Lytle's going to move into second place on the inside of Close. Is he going to have a big enough run to take it away? No, he won't. And
yeah, this is where we're going to see a lot of these guys, second, third, fourth, they're all going to be just trying to build up runs on each other to get a chance at first.
Still side by side for second place. Grunberg hopes these guys continue to fight, but Lytle's going to clear the 5 just off the corner.
Oh, and just indeed, and here comes Close now with the run to the outside. So Masso and Lindsay going to follow on the outside.
Oh, that got really tight there. The 56 slid up, and now he's just going to drop back to the bottom of the racetrack and try to get by Grunberg, but it's 4 cars on top and 2 on the bottom. I think the drafting favors work out better for that outside lane. To the inside again goes that 56. He's been loose down there. This is a tricky place for him to put his race car. Kind of a compromising position. But 3OG Racing and Blurry Motorsports well represented in this top 10.
Yeah, they're having a really good night. I think they want to try to push their luck just a little bit more. They're so close to getting a victory running 5th and 6th here. I wonder if they're going to try to force the issue here in these closing laps.
Do teammates help you in this situation? Or is it not a big enough draft advantage to be a big difference?
I think yes, up until the white flag. After that, old bets are off. I think definitely you're going to want to try to work together to draft off each other and just at least not fight each other and work your way up into the front.
Because I've seen Close and Salmaso working together just a little bit, but maybe not as much as maybe one would expect. But Lytle clears for second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the line. Corey Lindsay at the trailing edge of that.
Here comes Kusus now to the inside. He'll peel off to the inside of Salmaso. I don't think he'll be able to get clear off the corner, though.
No, struggling. Oh, for the lead again off the corner. Tate Lytle goes forward on the back straight. To the high side he goes.
Yeah, and he just rocketed around the 54 Grunberg. Nothing Grunberg could have done there. And Sam Close also going to try to follow suit in behind the 56.
Side by side for Gruenberg and Close. It's a pair of Mustangs following that Camry out front, but Lytle's gotten clear. He was my pick to win this race, leading with 11 laps to go at Michigan.
See Salmaso helping out his teammate as they get a push on the outside. Grunberg alone on the inside by himself.
And Klusser, who's tucked in behind, he's got teammate Corey Lindsay there as well, but they haven't really been able to push up into the front. But look at Lytle actually beginning to pull a slight gap on Sam Close. It's 0.2 of a second now.
Yeah, I think he used that run he had to an advantage. He's going to try to pull away.
Big block by the 0-0 on Dave Hunt down the back straight, but Hunt's going to get the better of Lindsay. Drops to the inside lane, but I do think Lindsay will be able to carry the run around the outside, and he does. And now Hunt under attack from Lafferty. Second place under attack again, Close and Gruenberg side by side.
Yeah, Gruenberg, I think, going to use that run he can get off of Lytle to his advantage. They go side by side into turn one.
Your scary, tense moments as the tires begin to wear off. How much grip will you have in the inside lane versus the outside? Which lane do you pick? Salmaso jumps to the outside of the 54. Gruenberg going backwards. Lytle going defensive on the back straight.
Yeah, Lytle going defensive, trying to cut that run off from Sam Close. There's nothing really much Lytle can do. And Salmaso still working to the outside of Gruenberg. I think Gruenberg needs to get in that outside lane.
9 laps to go here at Michigan. We had 4 cautions to start the night. It's been clean since that restart. Here's a look at your manufacturer lineup. It's a Camry, then 3 Fords, and then a whole host of Chevys with another Ford bookending the top 10.
Yeah, pretty much anyone, only really anyone in the top 8 has a solid shot at winning this race. They're the only guys in the lead pack.
Lap traffic coming up. And there's plenty of room to get out of the way here, but when everyone fans out so much in the corner, you never really have enough space. Lytle is in commanding control this one, that I don't think anybody can get back to him without really helping each other. Now Gruenberg splits the 3OG Racing teammates up the middle, so they can't help each other. Kluster, who's on the bottom, he's trying to get around him, but he has no help from Corey Lindsay, so it's really kind of a struggle to go and get that 56.
Yeah, now they're actually getting around the lap car. James Miller, who's off on the inside.
Miller won both races last night in the 3-Wide Racing League Yinzer Truck Series doubleheader last night at USA and Lanier, and led every single lap last night. Hasn't been quite so good in the 42 this evening.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be hoping for better in race number 2. He's just dealing with a damaged car, trying to nurse it back to the finish line here.
Right on board with Gruenberg's gyro cam here as he follows Sam Close.
He's got the run, and he's looking to the outside, but again, there's just nothing much really you can do here other than just try to build up a run. There you see him working to the outside. He knows an inside lane, not as useful as it was before.
Wow, so close there. The 5 wanted to slide up to take that outside groove away, but you have to be alongside entering the corner to be able to take the run on exit. But Gruenberg's going to cross him up at the exit of turn 2, get back to the bottom, but he might be able to clear him if he just sends it off deep into the corner.
Yeah, that's going to be the tough thing to do. Sam Close is trying to get him arrow wash on the exit of the corner, but Gruenberg, here he comes with the dive. Can he clear the 5? And he does.
Wow, excellent work by Gruenberg, but he has to close a 2.5 of a second gap to go get Lytle. It's going to be 6 laps to go.
Yeah, I think he's definitely got a shot here. Lytle pretty much a sitting duck here. Lytle going to try to just take away that outside lane. There you see him go high. Gruenberg, where is he going to go?
Gruenberg has caught Lytle. They've drafted right back up to him on the front straightaway, and that's what's so frustrating about this package for the driver of the 56 is you might be quickest, you might be leading, but the drivers behind you had advantage of the draft.
Speaking of the draft, Close was getting a run on Gruenberg. He's going to die it down. Close and Salmaso found each other yet again. Can they muster up anything for the 2 guys in front of them?
Aero push doesn't seem to be a huge factor. The 5 slips out of line there behind, and the 3OG car is beginning to lose ground to those front 2, Lytle and Gruenberg.
Yeah, I just think they've been losing a lot of momentum on the exit. That's really what's been killing them here.
5 laps to go, and Lytle's in command.
And out behind, Salmaso now going to the inside of Close. I wonder if their little work together is kind of over for now as they go side by side.
Maybe trying to just kind of swap positions, see if Salmaso's better out front, but they're going to run out of time if they spend too much more time side by side. It's going to be a two-dog fight up at the front here. 4 laps to go. Grunberg takes a look to the inside. Lytle is going to go to the outside. Grunberg side drafts off the quarter panel of that 56.
Yeah, did a great job doing so. He's just, I thought he might have been able to get clear in turn 1. Can't quite. Lytle's still there on the outside on the corner.
Oh, he slips!
Oh, Lytle getting loose!
Whoa, a huge slide for the 56 out of turn 2. The 54 is going to clear Lytle, and Lytle's going to lose a lot of momentum on the back straight here.
Lytle with a fantastic save there, dirt tracking it off of 2. I'm sure he's going to be a little bit disappointed, but he's still got some time to try to fight back.
Oh, he's way loose. Here comes Close back to the 54, looking for a victory. 3 laps to go this time through. As they run first and third, Grunberg and Lytle, that's how they are in the points. Lytle could use a victory to close the gap on that 54 car and help him in the chase. But right now, he's got to pass 2 cars to get there, and he's been loose all night. Can he do it with 3 to go?
I definitely think he can, but he's going to be struggling right in behind these guys in the turns with the already loose handling car.
It's basically a chess game now. Everyone can place their cars wherever. It's just a matter of where you place it in relation to your other competitor. Lytle goes way high in 3 and 4, but he has no grip. Slipping, sliding. Here comes Salmaso to the inside for third.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of grip put up in that outside lane. Everyone's more towards the middle to the bottom, and just you saw Lytle, just the car could not grip, and Salmaso not taking advantage.
Yeah, so Grunberg actually gapped Close there just a little bit. 2 laps to go. Ooh, Salmaso and Lytle a bit naughty there down into turn 1, using each other up.
Oh, Lytle, his tires are really high. He's sliding again off of 2.
Big slide for the 56. The 4 Salmaso got loose as well. It's going to be a 2-man race again. We have about 3 miles left to go.
And I think it's pretty much down to Sam Close and Grunberg. Should anything happen, Lytle and Salmaso will be a factor. But out of turn 4, they come white flag in the air.
Last lap around Michigan Speedway for the first race of the night. Grunberg, Close, Lytle, Salmaso, the 3rd and 4th place car still side by side as they enter turn 1. But for the lead, do you think that 5 has anything for Matt Grunberg?
He's going to have to make sure he gets a nice run off of 2, build a run down the back straightaway. That's his only shot.
He runs wide into turn 2. He's going to have to carry a big bout of momentum into turn 3. I don't think he's close enough, but he's certainly going to try.
Yeah, he's going to try here. He's going to have to make sure he just gets a good run off of turn 4, but there's already a gap building.
Yeah, I think he lifted to get it turned in and didn't carry enough speed, so it will be, after a tumultuous start to the race, a green flag run to the finish. Matt Grunberg wins the first race of the night at Michigan. Close, Lytle, Salmaso, Klooster, who's your top 5? And how about Tate Lytle just driving that car sideways for the last 5 laps? He was all on the edge of control there.
Yeah, he did a great job nursing that car back home. I can't imagine it was easy. I mean, it's also just, I think, frustrating for him. There's nothing much he can do there with a loose handling car like that. When you start to spin on the tires just get hotter and hotter, and you lose all the grip that you have. But great job there nursing it back to 3rd.
Grunberg came into the night with a 47-point lead over Chad Frankenfield and 85 over Lytle. He'll extend both of those leads. And he's just so dominant, not only in speed, but he doesn't get himself involved in incidents, Finian. I have not seen this 54 car torn up all season long, maybe the first or second race. But since then, Grunberg has just been out of trouble and winning race after race after race.
Yeah, and actually I'm looking at his Cup Series stuff right now. He ran to the finish of every single race. His lowest finish of the season, 16th at Daytona.
That's just a phenomenal, and at a restrictor plate race nonetheless, there's a phenomenal stat. And he's going to burn it down at the start-finish line. And here's a look at your race results. Close, Lytle, Salmaso, 3OG, pretty good results. The 18 of Ross comes home 16th, so not great all around, but for those 2 drivers it was. Dave Hunt comes home 6th. Acosta recovers for 9th. Jordan McEvoy 10th. Chad Frankenfield, after his issue, 20 laps down, will finish 20th place. His only saving grace is the fact that the rest of the field wadded up as well. Derek Westrick in his inaugural race, for his first race, 28th in that number 29 car. Race Clark was running well in the early going, got hooked out of the lead, and of course the 64 Todd Smith 21st after being parked and disqualified for the race incidents that he had. I want to go back real quick before we talk to anybody. I do want to go back and take a brief look at the 56 on lap 47. I cannot believe that that 56 car didn't take somebody out, and if not only himself. But here's a look at the 56. I was watching from the wrong angle here and it didn't slide, so let's watch again. Through 1 and 2, and just completely sideways, almost drove straight into the door of Matt Grunberg, but stayed off it. Unfortunately, that's what lost him the race, but he was driving that race car.
Yeah, he easily could have just said, you know, screw it and turned into Grunberg, but did the best that he could to the best of his ability to try to save this thing. I guess he used some experience from last night to dirt track this thing back straight, and did a great job saving. That could have easily been an ugly incident.
I don't think they meant turn right to go left at a racetrack like this, but it kind of worked. It just wasn't very fast. So, again, here's another look at your race results, but in a moment we're going to jump to break, talk to your winner, Matt Grunberg, and a couple others before we head into the second race of the night, another 50-lap feature event. Hopefully it goes a little bit cleaner and greener. But we'll be right back with your winner. Stay put. Welcome back to SimTV, here now with driver Tate Lytle in the 56. Tate, you were my pick to win the race. Almost had it on lap 47, though all sorts of sideways on the outside of Grunberg. What'd you need to go and beat that 54?
I felt like once I was in clean air, I was fine, but man, as soon as I had someone on my back bumper, I was all sorts of sideways. I don't know how I didn't wreck it last 3 or 4 laps. There was off of 2 every time I was dirt tracking the dang thing, but third place isn't bad, but when you lead for 8 of the last 12 laps, it's never fun to get third.
Did you learn anything from race 1 that you think you can apply to race 2, or is it going to be a completely different event, knowing that we'll probably have some more cars survive race 2?
Yeah, that's the thing. There's going to be, well, I don't know if there'll be less cautions, but there'll be less sliding around. That might make more cautions just because everyone's going to be a little more aggressive, but we'll just have to wait and see.
All right.
Race 1 was fun, though, sliding around.
Yeah, looked like a lot of fun out there for Tate Lytle, but a slip and slide took him out of the contention for the win. Tate, P3, good luck in race 2.
Thanks, guys.
Talk now with Sam Close, who finished second tonight in that number 5 3OG racing car. And Sam, kind of a wild night out there for you. You were up front all night, pretty much ahead of all the incidents. Coming home P2, what'd you need to go get that 54?
Probably a new right rear tire. At that point, I think I abused it just a little bit. But you know, you can't really get through 3 and 4 anymore. It was my problem. So yeah, some fresh right side tires. Not much else I could have done, I don't think.
Heading into race 2 here in just a couple minutes, do you treat race 2 any differently? That you got a pretty decent result in race 1 and you're willing to be a bit more aggressive, or do you kind of try to just do the same thing you did for race 1?
I'll be aggressive if it's worth it. You know, I don't know. It depends on the situation and how fresh the tires are. Because, you know, coming to the end in this race, I couldn't really be aggressive without risking getting loose and wrecking the car. So we'll see what happens. I'll probably approach it about the same way, take it easy, you know, kind of work my way up, and hope I get another good finishing spot.
All right, well, second for the number 5 3OG Racing Mustang. Thanks, Sam. We'll see you later. Matt Grunberg has been a staple in the SimTV broadcast booth here after winning another race this season. Matt, it wasn't a dominant night per se, but you closed in at the end when it counted, and staying out of trouble was important tonight. Walk us through your night and avoiding all those wrecks to get that top spot.
Well, it was pretty interesting, especially, I don't know if you guys got the start or not, but whenever I think it was Paul got hit and then sent up the track and started the incidents that I had to avoid, and then there's another incident not too much longer. I think the 22 was coming down the track, and then not too much later it was on the backstretch there, and that one was super close with Chad, and I think it was Tanner Sharp, and got into it on the backstretch. And I'm not sure how I made it through that one, but we did, and were able to, set us up with some good track position, and got 4 fresh tires. And then I think Johnny stayed on the inside lane there and ended up slowing up the inside, and then lost a few spots, but we were able to gain him back in the end. All in all, it was really fun racing. I really liked the setup. It was a lot of fun to drive. It was somewhat in the draft and, somewhat driving the car. So the best of both worlds, I guess.
For race number 2, you've already won race 1, so you have a huge points lead. Is there any resemblance left of points racing, or are you just going out for victories now and don't really care about the points?
I'm just going out there to have as much fun as I can. So pretty much starting at the back of the field and, passing as many cars as I can. That's as much fun as it gets. So
and picking up checkered flags are fun too. Matt Grunberg, winner here, race number 1 at Michigan. Matt, good luck in race 2. We'll talk to you later.
Yep, thank you.
I think Matt's getting a little bit bored of winning.
I think he is too. I think he said I wanted to have fun. Well, he doesn't seem that enthused after winning another race this season, so we'll see if winning both races will get him excited about winning again. So we're going to jump to break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes for the start of race number 2 here at Michigan for the 3-Wide RaceKings Cup Series, round number 13. We'll be right back.
To most, driving is just a mundane task between point A and point B. Nothing more. It's the frustration of traffic at 8 a.m. The feeling of sickness on a long ride. The car? Just a tool. It's supposed to be practical, reliable, and fast. But the speed is really the reason cars exist. Born out of a necessity to make that A to B trip just a little bit faster. Some have a deeper connection with cars. Found somewhere in the bond of man and machine, a desire to be part of something bigger than yourself. It's the extension of mind and body to something more exciting than just another appliance. And these people never cared about practicality or reliability. To them, the only thing that matters is speed. We're born with a competitive nature, part of a biological necessity that has not yet worn off with time. People have raced for thousands of years, and that competition has transcended history and found its way to the industrial age. Railroads raced to build across the country, replacing the horses whose strength is still used as a benchmark for power today. And as personal vehicles became popular, the railroads died off. What once was the quickest way across the country became snail's pace in comparison. The interstate highway system expanded and cars populated every driveway. And the competition between types of transport quickly transitioned into the race to have the fastest car. Bragging rights. Manufacturers like Porsche, Ferrari, and BMW emerged in auto racing, each trying to one-up the other. Building engines became an arms race. Who could build the fastest dinosaur-powered legs? So while the passion for cars has died for most, there are still people that are fascinated by racing. The sights, the sounds, the smell of burning rubber and spent race fuel lingering in the air, this is what attracts us to the sport of auto racing. We are empowered by drivers that climb in impossibly fast cars and put everything on the line for the sake of competition. Drivers who know that one slip-up can lead to disaster. And for the longest time, wishing to be a race car driver was just a childhood dream. All we could ever be was a spectator. Opportunities? Limited and expensive. Reserved only for the who's who of the racing world. Until now.
Welcome back live to Sim TV, here for the second race in the doubleheader here at Michigan for the 3WideRacing Cup Series round 12 and 13. Race number 1, the first half, Finian kind of a mess, but they got it cleaned up for the last half, and Matt Grunberg, to no one's surprise, came up to the top of the board and won that race. Tate Lytle third, Sam Close second. What do you foresee for race 2? Are we going to see a similar situation, and which driver is your pick to win the race?
Well, actually, one thing I immediately wanted to look for in coming into this race, last race you saw pretty toasty as far as track temperature. If you pull the graphic up, you'll see air temp 71, track temp 73 with an overcast, and also, but the humidity is really high, 90 degrees humidity. So a little bit hazy also as well. But yeah, I think definitely this track temp, hopefully if it stays down, will definitely help these drivers as we've seen them struggling for grip. So I think a lot of guys looking forward to that. That might also help clean up the racing just a little bit.
Yeah, that's, well, there's also the flip side of that coin where if everyone's really close together, it could mean more issues. But a lot more grip available to these drivers as we roll off. Paul Ross will get a better chance to qualify in his number 18, so he'll have a chance to run well. He didn't really got kind of shorted out in race 1 with that start collision. And Tate Lytle is going to be very grateful that the track is now cooler because he could not keep that car in a straight line in race 1. It was slipping and sliding all over the place. That's why he lost race 1. I think race 2 he'll be really competitive with how good he was in race 1.
Yeah, indeed. We saw it on 3 different occasions. I mean, nothing really much you could do. He did everything he could to save it and saved it on all 3 occasions. So great racecraft there, but I'm sure he's going to be hoping to keep it going in one direction, not sliding it around a lot, so he can try to get a win to his name.
Speaking of Race Clark, 22 car, was one of the second, actually was I believe the first or second caution of the night off the bumper of the 64 of Todd Smith, who was ultimately disqualified. Now that disqualification I don't believe is still in effect. I believe that 64. Ooh, is he not here, Finney? I don't see him on the timing and scoring.
Yeah, no, he should be back here. You're only disqualified for the race, unless they said so otherwise, but didn't see anything.
Yeah, not on the timing and scoring monitor here. So, for now, the driver that Race Clark potentially would have had issues with will not be joining us. We might pop in here late, but qualifying already underway, and David Wilson goes to the top of the board. He got kind of rudely taken out of his running position earlier in a wreck. And he had started off his season really strong, Finney, and I believe, if you take a look at the points, he's still 6th. He dropped 2 spots last week at Iowa, and then probably dropped another spot or 3 because of the incident at Michigan, but trying to turn his season around after a couple of rough weeks and sitting on pole right now.
Yeah, and if anything, you know, after pretty solid speed weeks, I think he's trying to just, you know, make it out of the rest of the season line. He has some pretty good runs. Has finished 3rd at Dover. It's the only time he's been inside the top 5 this season. I think he's trying to get another top 5 here tonight. Definitely has a chance to with that good qualifying effort. Still actually holding too.
Chad Frankenfield in the 15. Oh, Michael Skinner goes right back to the top of the board. Chad Frankenfield got wrecked out of race 1, or actually kind of was part of the reason why the wreck happened, but still even nonetheless got wrecked and dropped a lot of points to Matt Gruenberg. So at this point in the season, the chase is coming soon. If you're a guy like Chad Frankenfield, you're second in points. Are you just going for victories? Because points really don't matter at this point.
Oh, yeah, I think for a lot of guys, especially, I mean, really for the guys who are good in on points, and actually, if I can kind of sort my thing out here. So there's only 6 drivers currently with wins, and that's including last race, too. Grunberg, Frankenfield, Ross, Lytle, Adams, and Sweeting are the only drivers that have won in the Cup Series so far. Everyone else is still looking for a spot. See, guys like Sam Close, Wilson, Thomas, Finn, Cole, those guys are pretty good as far as points, but guys a little bit further back, especially outside of the top 16, I think they're going to be eyeing at the wins column. They're going to be looking for their opportunity to get a win to seal their ticket to the playoffs.
Robert Hill Jr. goes second quick, and that'll be a much better start to race 2 for him than race 1. He got wrecked out big time in race 1. Huge impact to the inside wall after getting involved in something that was not of his doing, and he's just had some rotten luck. So starting up front will help solve that issue, but it's Michael Skinner. How about this? Filling in for Velez. Last night ran really well and is running well tonight, too. Velez got to look out and maybe give that 48 driver a full-time ride because he is really talented.
Well, this actually shouldn't be the last time we see Michael Skinner. In fact, Velez is, I believe, stated to not come back until, I believe, Richmond.
Ooh,
I read that.
So a little while.
Yeah, he got, I think, a 6-race suspension after what occurred at Iowa. Actually trying to just find the email real quick to back up my statement here.
Yeah, so while you're looking for that, Wilson, again, still third, Frankfield fourth, Paul Rawson sixth. Looks like I'm trying to find the driver, the number 26, Chuck Sweeting, joined the server but hasn't made a qualifying effort. Maybe he won't, but it'd be good to see him at least get a start in after some issues in race 1.
Yeah, so I have it right here. So Velez is welcome back to 3-wide competition August 11th, which is Richmond for the Truck Series. So that's the first time we'll see Velez back, and it's gonna be in a little while. So let's see what Michael Skinner can do. I think he wants to take this opportunity, what he's got in the Cup cars, and take advantage. Definitely doing a fantastic job so far.
Qualifying complete. Mike Skinner on the pole here in the 48. Robert Hill Jr. second. David Wilson third. Frankenfield Klusner, who's rounding out your top 5. Klusner, who's in that 94. One to watch with a good run in race 1. A top 5 run, in fact, for that Blurry Motorsports 94. As we get ready to grid, much cloudier skies, much cooler conditions, much closer racing. Taking a look at our conditions again, 72 track temp, but still really windy, 13 miles an hour. That's going to be a big headwind or tailwind somewhere on the racetrack. I don't know exactly how this track is situated north, south, east, west, but...
they really need to give us a compass for
racing. I would love a compass. I would, that would be so convenient.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to do some sleuthing here. I'm going to go and Google.
Some what?
I'm going to... sleuthing. I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to figure out...
What does that word mean?
Like figuring stuff out, like a detective.
Sleuthing.
It's a word.
Carry out a search or investigation in the manner of a detective.
Yeah!
Does it really take
Sleuthing.
Detective work to find out?
I mean, not really. It takes a
direction the
Google
track is
search.
facing?
Takes a Google search. Give me a second.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, Detective DeCuna working on finding out how the track is lined
I
up.
like the ring to that.
Don't flatter yourself.
Okay, so the front stretch, for the most part, goes west. So if we look at where the wind is,
The track, like it travels west. So if the wind's,
Yeah,
if the wind's coming from the southwest, it's going to be coming from the
turn
1 area. So the back straightaway will be very fast. That's what I got out of that,
Yes.
Detective DeCuna. Corporal Kyle and Detective DeCuna. No? Okay. All right, we're done. All right, field about ready to roll off here. Again, a really big field, about 30 cars. I don't see the 64 lined up here, but we do have the 89 of Brent Miller, who is in the server but didn't actually race in race 1.
Yeah, and also we got Chuck Sweeting back, so I was able to fix whatever happened to his machine, and he's back out here on the track, so nice to see him here.
See Kevin Finn peeking the nose out of the formation there on the pit road. Again, about a 32-minute race if it goes green all the way to the end. We didn't see that in race 1. We had 4 yellows in 25 laps, and then from there on out, it was pretty much clean and green to the end. The field peeling off and bringing their pace lap, getting their tachometer set for the pit lane, and we won't see green flag stops necessarily, because I assume we'll see at least 1 yellow flag, and that will probably eliminate the strategy from that. Field rolling
definitely
on the back straight. Sorry, Finian. And again, I wanted to bring your eye back to the conditions again, because that air temp is also 71, so the track temp is not going to change at all, probably. And that means they're going to have very consistent conditions with the cloudy skies, which we don't necessarily see when it's sunny, just because you get a lot of variation in the clouds and the cloud coverage.
Yeah, I think definitely, though, drivers are going to be enjoying it, especially Tate Lytle. I think he's really going to be enjoying the excess grip he's going to have. Hopefully he can put it to use. And he's actually going to have to work his way a decent way up the field. He's going to be starting back in 17th, so he's got his work cut out.
Another driver I see popped in, Kyle Hanshaw in the 46. After the drama last week at Iowa, was unable to run last night's events in the dirt, but he's back here at Michigan. He'll start towards the rear of the field. As we roll out of turn 4, Finian, it's time to go racing. Josh Adams also in the field rolling this time through. As we get to the start-finish line, the green flag in hand. 50 laps at Michigan, race number 13 of the season, getting closer and closer to the chase. Green flag flies, we're racing, let's go silent for lap 1. One lap complete here at Michigan, and a wild start, 2 and 3 wide, but we made it that time. Across the line, Michael Skinner, Robert Hill Jr., 1 and 2. David Wilson sits third, and it's 3 wide on the front straight.
Well, Wilson going for it on the inside. There you see him. He's trying to turn his season around. There he is, going for the lead on lap 2.
And he's going to make it stick, and that inside lane going to be a lot grippier now with that low temperature asphalt, and he made it stick. He's got the lead for now, but he's drag racing. Whoa, look at the 83 of Johnny Thomas all the way on the apron. A big gaggle of cars in turn 3. I'll be amazed if this works out.
So far, so good. This is the excess grip. We're seeing guys getting a little bit bolder, but they're also able to keep it going a lot more. There's
Whoa, no, the grass!
Dive low.
Wow! The 94 blocks to the grass, and he's in the dirt, and the 3 car escapes that. The 94 is going to drop a few positions as well, but that was dramatic there for a moment.
Yeah, that was really dramatic, and it made some guys back off of it, and I think Boosters, he's going to drop to the back of the pack for now.
3 wide again, still the top spot, hotly contested. Skinner and Wilson. Here's Hanshaw in the background, that bright red Camry up the middle of the racetrack. Now it's 3 wide for second place. Robert Hill Jr. in the middle of the sandwich. Now here's Paul Ross trying to recover from a poor race 1.
Yeah, same thing with Zelensky, too. He's up in 5th place. They're trying to take 5th place away. Here comes Tanner Sharp yet again through the middle.
Much more like Daytona Talladega with the low track temps, Finian. I don't think we're going to see quite as much slipping and sliding. Richard Lafferty, a lap down here early, had an issue he had to tend to, but look at this pack of race cars.
Yeah, indeed. Richard Lafferty, he got an EOL, I think, for internet issues. I think he got called out on pit road, but luckily he's got that sorted out.
So far, so good for this race. And on the inside, that's that 48, a pole sitter all the way in the bottom. He can keep that line stuck to the yellow line. But Robert Hill Jr. up the middle with help from Paul Ross in the 3OG Mustang. Here they come for the top spot.
Oh, and they're all scattering almost 4 wide for a second. Here comes Paul Ross, and at the line, wow, these guys are close. 2,000s at the line.
Wow, this is just so many cars. Wilson on the apron entering turn 1, trying to find room to race. And it's Ross to the lead. Tanner Sharp into second. Oh no, Wilson goes around right in front of the field. It's going to be a huge one at the exit of turn 2. I can't even see where this all happened. Did we somehow not crash a billion cars? Wow, I thought that was going to be a much bigger wreck. I don't see that many cars that are damaged.
A decent amount got some damage. Probably not as much as you think, but...
Wow, I thought that was going to be a 15, 20 car wreck. Here's a look from up above. Yeah, Josh Adams, Austin Derbyshire. Cold got a little bit, but yeah, I thought that was going to be a lot worse. And props to everybody for getting that field stopped. Zelensky got a bit of damage, but Zelensky saved that drift. That was a job well done. Did Lytle get some damage as well? Lytle went to the dirt to escape it, slipped and slid, and no, he saved it. Josh Adams took some front-end damage, so did Derbyshire, but for the most part, most of the field unscathed here for an early incident.
Yeah, whoa, Sam Close went for a full-on drift.
Yeah, let's go back and look at Close in that incident as well, because I understand that he had a pretty wild ride there for a second. And we'll ride
actually, it looks like
gyro.
Yeah, he actually got some neck to that and got him knocked in the left rear.
The wreck happens just underneath him. And he gets tagged and power slide by the 5. Excellent job there. And Zelensky did a great job as well. They both kind of tandem drifted for a second. Let's ride on board with the 42 of James Miller, because he had a really good view of, I believe, both these cars slipping. Wow. Bosch now here early and some takers on the pit lane, but not everybody. Tanner Sharp stays out. What do you think of that decision?
Yeah, interesting choice there. I'm guessing he felt with the grip levels, I think tires, I feel, at least he feels the tires aren't going to be as important. We'll see on the restart if that is indeed a factor.
Chuck Sweeting rolls out. I think that was a 2-tire stop for him. No, he didn't actually stop. So he rolls on.
Oh yeah, he just rolled on through.
Yep. So Sweeting comes out third. Derek Westrick, terrible race 1, looking to rebound in race 2 in his Ford Mustang, and sits P2 right now. Kyle Hanshaw up into 14th after starting in 20th, so he's up a couple spots. Matt Grunberg somehow made his way through that. He's just so good at missing wrecks. Started 26th, up 11 spots into 15th. And you see the cloud cover. It's very dark out. Thankfully, no chance of rain. Also, I just noticed the caution lights here blinking properly, as they should. And by properly, I mean, I'm not sure, will they flash really fast instead of just kind of back and forth, wig-wagging? I don't know.
Oh, on the base car?
No, on the wall. At least, unless there was a graphical glitch that made it look like it was doing that. Michael Skinner, the pole sitter, back into 6th place in that 48 car. Chad Frankenfield, Westrick hits pit lane. Why would he do that?
I think he thought... yeah, honestly, I have no clue.
Miles Turner on the side of that car. Go ahead.
I think what happened, I think he thought more people would stay out, and I think he realized he didn't want to be caught out by everyone else, so he decided to come back down, and he's going to leave. Did Chuck Sweeting actually come?
No, Chuck
Sweeting stayed. Yeah,
he rolled down through pit lane, but did not stop, so he will pick up 2nd place in that Mystery Motorsports Camaro.
Interesting. So Tanner Sharp and Chuck Sweeting are going to stay out there on old tires. Everyone else got fresh rubber to work with. Well, this will be interesting to kind of see how this plays out here. This could go either really well for the 3 and the 26 or horribly wrong, and we'll find out in a few laps.
I think it's going to go fine. I don't think that they really wasted a lot of their tires with the track being so cool. Had it been race 1 where it was 110 on the track, yeah, I would have come in and gotten tires. Here, I don't think it's going to matter, but I don't think they're going to drop like a rock. I think they'll maybe kind of linger around inside the top 10, but that's you know, it's a crapshoot anyway. And I think track position is helpful, not because you can't pass. You can pass very easily right now. I think the problem is the reason why you couldn't pass is because there's a wall of cars. That would be why.
Yeah.
So rolling through turns 3 and 4, we should get the 1 to green. And working lap 9 of 50. And, ooh, is that Sweeting pulling off? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Strange strategies all around, but Sweeting's going to drop down the ticker. And lights are going to be off in the pace car.
Yeah, so that's going to leave Tanner Sharp, the lone driver on the no-tire strategy.
He thought he had a no-tire buddy, but he doesn't. And now Paul Ross is in a great spot to take the lead away on the restart. And Sharp also taking the outside groove, at least right now. No, look, I think now he's going to drift. No, he's still taking the outside. That's not the line I would choose if I was the 3.
I think what he's fancying, I think he's trying to he's going to try to get a good restart, as we usually see the leader do. And I think he's going to try to have a good chance of just getting a nice arc into turn 1. So that way he can cut off the momentum that we've seen quite a lot of the guys that start behind the leader get to get a nice draft right in behind them and make a run of extra. As I said, this is Tanner Sharp's answer to that. Will he be successful? We'll have to see.
Well, I'm not super confident in that choice for the 3, but once you accelerate, you can't really spin the tires with this package and the low power that we see here. So once you go to the throttle, it's really all who hits it first. Now the problem for Sharp is that Robert Hill can see what Sharp is doing and might give Paul Ross a nice big shove before they get to the green flag. So I just think that 18 car is going to be leading by the end of the lap after the restart. We'll see how it works though. Working lap number 9, coming to lap 10. And almost the 20% mark again for this race. Tanner Sharp in the outside lane. The control car on the left-hand side of your screen. Flagman has the yellow flag in hand. He's going to trade it for the green right there as we go back racing at Michigan.
Yeah, decent start for Tanner Sharp. Exactly what he needed as everyone races off down towards turn number 1.
Yeah.
Now Skinner and Ross now going to try to duke it out. Let's see how this plays out. Will Skinner fall in behind Ross? No, he can't. Here comes Robert Hill Jr.
Yeah, good launch for the 3. Now the question is, will those tires last? I think they will, but we'll see how he gets freight trained here and how well he responds to that as they go down into turn 3.
Yeah, you can see everyone getting a huge draft and nothing really he can do except try to defend this.
Whoa, they fan out almost 4 wide down into turn 3. The 48 to the top of the racetrack. The 3 going to get split up the middle. I don't think this is abnormal here. The question is, can he recover from this and stay put in the draft? A bit of a side draft off the 15, a wiggle, a waggle. The 61 of Robert Hill Jr. to the outside lane. The 48 goes to the middle to help the 3.
Yeah, I think Skinner's just debating which lane does he want to go. I think he sees that Hill Jr. is going to get stuck out there. He's going to go for the bottom where everyone else is.
So Ross takes the lead away. Tanner Sharp hanging on okay for now. I see the 14 of Kevin Finn, the purple Crown Royal car, coming into the picture. Here's his view. Frankenfield changes lanes. He's going to jump to the middle of the racetrack into turn 3.
Yeah, looking a little bit back. Guys that were fighting for the win in the last race. Grunberg, Lytle, Samasso, they're trying to work their way back up to the front.
A gaggle out of turn 4. Tight racing. Zielinski all the way to the apron as they come to the start-finish line.
Ooh, and Tanner Sharp being aggressive with those side drafts, and here they come on the apron. Oh, boy.
Oh, this is going to get really dicey. A push and a shove from the 48. Not an inch given down there. Lytle in the middle of the racetrack. We saw him loose in race 1, struggling with the grip. He's got all the grip he needs here in the middle of 1 and 2.
And man, here comes Lytle out of nowhere. He's on the move to the front. He's going to get a massive draft off the 18 of Paul Ross. Where is he going to go? He's going to sit behind, or he's going to go to the outside.
Zielinski gets a big shove from Michael Skinner. He leads off into turn 3. The field scattering in turn 4. Paul Ross, Robert Hill Jr., and Tate Lytle all mashed together. Chad Frankfield's dropped back after being in second only a lap ago. That's how quickly things change here at Michigan. Across the line, Zielinski leads that lap.
Ooh, Lytle almost gave Paul Ross a shove that almost turned him around. That could have been dangerous there.
Frankenfield in the middle out of 2. The 5 drifts up. That's close. Oh, Hill slips and slides out of turn 2, but he saves it on the apron.
Well, one guys I've been seeing getting aggressive in the front, the 48 and the 6, they don't look like they're friends. They were going at it pretty aggressively. Here comes Skinner to the inside, Ross to the outside.
Going to try 3 wide again for the lead. Robert Hill Jr. slips all the way back to 17th, 18th, maybe 19th place. But for the top spot, Skinner's got it. Zielinski wants it. Here comes Sharp again. I don't think the tires seem to matter all that much. He's shoved on the apron into turn 1.
Oh boy, Zielinski coming down a pinch. That could have been dangerous. They're still going at it on each other. Very close quarters for the lead.
Side by side by side by side out of turn 2. Going to dive for the bottom of the racetrack. That's where the 48's going. I see in the background Kolb and Josh Adams not given a whole lot of room. Now look at Tate Lytle pushing that outside groove right behind Paul Ross. He's following that 18 3OG Mustang to the front.
Yeah, Ross actually been slipping back. And as you see these guys come out of the turn, the sun's starting to peek its head out in turn 4. Whoa, for the lead. Big dive by Tanner Sharp.
Oh, someone was in the grass. I think it was in the 48 that actually touched the dirt down and off into turn 1. They're just exploring every inch of the racetrack. If it's paved, it's fair game here at Michigan, and they're exploring every possible square inch.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing that Sharp strategy work. They see Zielinski go. Skinner goes down below the white line to give room for Zielinski, and Zielinski not done yet. He wants the lead.
And he's going to have the lead off into turn 3. Lap 15 of 50, side by side for second and third and fourth behind him. Much better racing this race around. And look at this, side by side at the line. Frankenfield, and I think that was the 3 of Sharp, almost banging doors at the start-finish line.
Yeah, that could have gotten ugly. They're going to keep it clean for now, though.
Kyle Hanshaw up in a 9th after starting deep in the field. Here's his view of everything up front. Sharp and Zielinski playing games there on that outside groove.
Yeah, one wrong mistake, this could get ugly really quick. Both the 3 and the 6 being very aggressive up in the front.
Closing in ever so closer, about 9 laps to halfway. Points on the line there. Zielinski, ooh, that was close between Zielinski and Skinner at the line. Inches between them.
2,000ths of a second at the line recorded.
And just no room to spare here at Michigan. It's like Daytona and Talladega. It's wider, but it's a lot narrower in terms of the racing line in the corner. I see Race Clark duking and diving. Here goes the 3 to the top to the bottom elevator move down into turn 3.
And another aggressive move for that 3 car. Let's see how it pays off. You see Skinner trying to get the run in behind the 3. There he goes down low.
He drove into the bumper of the 3. Now right through the Geico restart zone paint to the line. Skinner takes second that lap. 3 wide for the top spot again.
And Zielinski doing a great job using that outside lane to his advantage. And I'm just amazed at Tanner Sharp. His car looks like absolutely there's been no tire wear for him at all.
I can't believe that just out of that shot is Robert Hill Jr. back in 11th place. What a recovery by the driver of the 61.
Yeah, fought his way
Oh,
back up here.
wow! Out of turn 4, only inches separating the top 3 as they were 3 wide through that final corner. That was dicey there for a second, Finian.
Yeah, what I'm amazed that these guys are racing more aggressively than they had in race 1, but I think with the extra grip, they're able to pull off a lot of these moves.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Can't take it for granted, though, as the tires begin to wear off. So will the grip, and we're still 3 wide for that lead on the backstretch. Now it's 2 wide. Sharp pulls right up in front of Zielinski. I don't know if Zielinski liked that. He's giving a huge shove. Dives to the bottom in front of the 48.
Yeah, I noticed off of turn 2 last time, they looked a little bit squirrely in the rear end, so I think these guys got to start washing their tires.
Skinner's driving him deep into the corner and making it stick. He's going to grab third, make it second. As he comes to the start-finish line, he's going to look top, maybe bottom. No, he's going to stay in behind Zielinski. That's Dave Hunt down on the apron into turn 1. He got kind of shuffled out there by the 15.
Yeah, Hunt's been kind of poking his nose here. Also in last race, too, at the end of the last race, he was towards the front. Here he is also trying to get himself in the top position, but man, is it aggressive up here.
All 31 drivers that started the race are still running in this race. We have 1 caution in the first 20 laps. Closing in 5 laps to go to halfway, and Zielinski to the bottom of Tanner Sharp. 3 wide, there's Salmaso poking his head back into the mix.
Yeah, Salmaso's there. Frankenfield's just in the middle of everything, trying to find his way through this traffic.
It's a herd of Mustangs towards the front of the field. I see a couple Camaros like Tanner Sharp breaking up the mix, but Zielinski and the 3 of Tanner Sharp, they are not giving each other a whole lot of room. I don't know how much history these guys have, but they'll probably have some after tonight. Ooh, Frankenfield out of line to the inside. That's Sam Close he's trying to get through. And Mike Skinner back to the inside. He'll take the lead away off into turn 3.
Yeah, great move for him. Everyone else just trying to fan out, find their lanes.
And that's the 8 of Richard Lafferty right in front of that bright red Camry of Kyle Hanshaw, making their way into the mix. And I think more and more drivers starting to creep up in here. This pack is getting tighter as the run goes on, not looser. And the 4 of Salmaso making headway now to the outside of the 3. Oh,
yeah,
Sharp!
Whoa, Tanner Sharp loose.
He's going to drop down the order, but he recovers. And we're going to see more and more of that as the run goes on. For the top spot, though, for now, it's kind of calmed down. Skinner, Zielinski, Salmaso, Ross, Frankenfield, your top 5. There's some cars going all the way up to the wall. That is the 52 of Kolb. Way high Larson line at a turn 4.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see get a lot more calm in the front. Everyone actually single file all the way back to 10th place.
This is when you start after managing the drafting runs. I see a car scrape the wall into turn 1, but no harm, no foul there. Salmaso carrying a ton of momentum on the outside groove. He's got the 6 of Zielinski in front of him. Does he push or does he dive for the inside? Dives to the inside, that's the answer.
Yeah, and you remember, we saw Salmaso, he was kind of out of this fight up in the front. I think he's saving up his stuff for just this exact moment. He goes to the inside of Zielinski, going to try to use that extra grip to his advantage.
Oh, but he slipped mid-corner, and the Frankenfield car is going to drive right back around his outside. Lap 24, 3 laps to the end of the stage. 2 laps, my mistake. Skinner and Zielinski, they've been pushing and shoving on each other all race long. Will that run out? Will they make a mistake and wad up the field? There's Paul Ross back on the inside in the 3OG car. Had a disastrous race 1, looking to improve on race 2 inside the top 5 right now.
Yeah, in fact, quite a few guys in the front of the field are guys that want to redeem themselves after what happened in the last race, and so far so good for them. They're doing a great job.
Zielinski pops out of line on the outside of turn 3. Nowhere to go, though. Look at Hanshaw way up the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. He's got Kolb right behind him. Tate Lytle, all the way back in 16th place. Started up in 17th, so he has really not made a whole lot of ground in progress, but just kind of waiting and seeing how his car handles. You see him kind of hanging that rear end out just a little bit. Spin out of turn 2. Big wreck in front of him as they all scatter on the back straight.
Wow!
No, oh, there's the caution as the 8 of Lafferty spins. Our second caution of the night. Smoke up ahead of Tate Lytle, and it all happened there. Let's take a look and see how that started.
Yeah, actually, if you can, I think you should look on board with maybe Tanner Sharp or someone that's behind that, because there are 2 guys loose in front of Richard Lafferty.
Oh, yeah, that was Sam Close. Oh, boy. Oh, and Robert Hill Jr. got wrecked out of that one again. horrible, horrible luck for that 61 tonight. Yeah, was that Ross?
Yeah, it was Ross and Sam Close that were both sliding out of turn 2. It was almost as if someone put a whale on the inside line.
I hate that for the 61. My heart is broken for him. He just puts in so much effort each and every week. And again, an innocent victim in this one. And the 8 car was already sideways. I don't think that was a result of trying to miss the wreck fitting. I think the 8 was already out of control.
Yeah, so Ross, Close, and Lafferty were all sideways coming off of 2. And I think I think that was pretty much where the tires decided to have enough there. And I think a lot of drivers were caught off guard.
Yeah, again, I really hate that for the 61. Let's go back. I want to watch Sam Close, his part of the accident. He was sideways right in front of Kevin Finn. He managed to save it and stay off the racetrack, but you see the big mess behind him as the field scatters. And field now on pit lane, and I hate that for the 61 as the field comes on down. Mike Skinner, Frankenfield, Close, Ross all at the front. And tires needed, I think, at this point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think the guys sliding loose, you're definitely going to want to get all 4 tires. And Chuck Sweeting, again, just going to pass on through pit road. But for the top spot, Zielinski's going to win the race off of pit road. Then it's going to be Michael Skinner, Chad Frankenfield, and Salmaso Finn, your top 5 off of pit road.
I didn't see who won the halfway break at lap 25, so if you could go back and check that out for me. Just to kind of fill us in on who finished where in that. Derek Westrick, I don't believe he hit. He did not. Neither did Corey Lindsay. Sweeting came down but didn't take any tires or fuel. Everyone else pit under that lap 26 caution.
Yeah, so we came across we came across halfway at the caution, and leading them there was Michael Skinner in the 48. He'll take first. Then it'll be Zielinski, Frankenfield, Salmaso, Finn, your top 5 at halfway.
Corey Lindsay maybe staying out, but maybe coming down to pit lane. I think it'd be silly not to come, and I think you're going to see these top 2 come on down this time, as well as Chuck Sweeting potentially, because they're going to need fuel to get to the end, and here they come, the top 2. Sweeting stays out, though. Second caution of the night. We've had 10 lead changes in 27 laps. It feels like we've had a whole lot more than that. And it's been a wild one so far. Much better racing than the first race.
Yeah, I think definitely. I feel like the track conditions have really helped that. It's been very, very entertaining, and I'm sure drivers are loving all the grip that they have available. And definitely putting it to good use, I would say, for quite a few of these guys.
You know, when we analyze the new 2019 package of races this year, I think it's fair to say, and some people might disagree with me on this, that the night races seem to be better and more competitive than the races during the day, when everyone has basically infinite grip. Not saying that that is the way that, you know, NASCAR should go, but I think with this package, it seems to work better in cool temperatures, and that's what we're seeing so far tonight as well. It seems like everyone can stay tighter together, has more control, can make wilder moves without worrying about losing control of the car.
Yeah, I think definitely a large part of that, too, is considering that these cars are so aero-dependent now, the next thing you can hope for is mechanical grip, and when you have lower temperatures, you get a lot more grip in those tires to get these cars to rotate, and otherwise they're just kind of sliding in loose like we saw in the last race. They can't really do much up behind another car.
So will that Mystery Motorsports Camaro come down pit lane? I would think it would be smart to.
I would hope so, because he's going to get completely overrun on the restart. I think you're definitely going to want tires after that run.
So we'll see if that 26 peels off. For now, he doesn't. And this should be the one to green, I would assume. No, here he comes. A late dive to pit lane. So Levi Zielinski will take over the lead. Mike Skinner, who was the halfway break winner. Chad Frankenfield, Chuck Sweeting, Kevin Finn, all inside the top 5, and Salmaso rounding it out. On CMTV this week, I don't think we have anything going on this week.
No,
the only thing we have is
quiet week.
Next Sunday night, Yinzer Truck Series action. And that will be from Daytona 07, so restrictor plate racing next week. And that'll be after Finning and I visit Watkins Glen for the Cup race this coming Sunday. And if any of you guys are going to be down in Watkins Glen for NASCAR, give us a holler. We'll try to meet up with you. We'll be in the RiseBet grandstands on Sunday and down in Seneca on Friday and Saturday to watch the K&N and Xfinity races. We hope to see you there. I will sign autographs for you if you want.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
I'm kind of kidding about that. I'll charge you, though. $5 a pop. 807 subscribers, Finney, and I think I've earned my right to do an autograph for a couple bucks.
Oh, it's 807? Damn.
Yeah. We broke through 800 a couple weeks ago, and I wish we could get accelerated some more. But the cool thing is we got the Indy Elite Series coming up here in a couple weeks. That should boost that for sure. So pace car is going to roll off here. Going to be lap number 30. 21 laps to go. Zielinski, Skinner, Frankenfield, Finn, Salpasso, Hanshaw, Cole, Close, Hunt, and Cogswell. Your top 10. Here they come to the start-finish line. Flagman's got the green flag in hand. Chaotic racing underway again as the green flag back in the air at Michigan.
Great start for Zielinski as well as Michael. And there they go off into turn one. I thought he might have been able to get lead away from Zielinski, but not quite. In fact, the entire top three single file for now.
Kind of a cluster towards the rear of the field there on the start. No contact, but everyone just kind of slow. The 0-0 way on the apron through 1 and 2. Does he have a problem, or is he just dropping to the back?
Came out of the pits.
Came out of the pits. Zielinski blocks on the back straight. Skinner right in the bumper. Ooh, Race Clark in the background almost gets hooked off the bumper with the 24. That got scary.
Yeah, those guys racing aggressively as well as in the front. Skinner still right in behind Zielinski, not giving him any breathing room. And here comes Frankenfield now to the inside.
The ticker is going to change from saying 30 of 50 to 20 laps to go, because that's how many laps are left in Michigan. Kyle Hanshaw up inside the top 5. Zielinski comes down to block the 15.
Yeah, Zielinski doing the best that he can to try to defend there. And how about Kyle Hanshaw sitting in that 46 in 4th? He's trying to make some noise here in the second half of this race.
Out of turn 2, everyone diving for that yellow line. It seems like when the tires are fresh. Ooh, Frankenfield got to the inside of the 6. He's going to make a run for it. Lytle in the background, weaving, diving, and bobbing through the middle of the field. But look at Hanshaw from 4th to 3rd. He's coming for 2nd now on the inside of Zielinski.
Yeah, Hanshaw taking the run all the way. Will he try to go to the front? Frankenfield's going to cut him up on the apron.
Zielinski with a big shove from the 48. 3 Mustangs. Linus Stern in the outside lane. Frankenfield on the inside, 3 wide for the top spot. Here comes Zielinski again with a push from the 48.
Oh, these guys are keeping it tight, keeping it close here up in the front. There you see Zielinski off the corner. He's going to get some help from the 48 of Michael Skinner.
The field together like a group of bumblebees down into turn 3. Oh, Skinner gives a big shove to the 6. Still 3 wide for that top spot. No one willing to give an inch. Across the line, 18 laps to go. And now everyone's heart rate begins to rise.
Whoa.
The 48 chases the 6 to the bottom.
Well, that was a ballsy move there, but Skinner's able to do so. Hanshaw, and I think Frankenfield backed off just a little bit into the corner, and here they're trying to duke it out for 3rd place.
Matt Grunberg, the points leader, in 10th right now, but he's in the middle of the danger zone. If something were to happen now, there's no way he could escape it.
Yeah, Grunberg was actually, I was looking at that last run, he's all the way in the 20s, just kind of biding his time if he felt a caution was going to happen. Now here he is, he decided time for waiting is over. He's charging for the front now.
The 48 dropped way below the line on corner exit, and he will get to the inside of Zielinski. And Justin Kolb inside the top 5 in that bright pink 52. And Mike Skinner back to the top spot. 1 pole in this race, and has been mighty quick and muscles the lead away from the 6. But look at Zielinski with the run off turn 2 and help from the 15 to Frankenfield.
Yeah, everyone giving bumps. It's looks like tandem racing up on the front. Everyone giving a shove to the leaders.
I can't believe we're racing this many cars abreast. Race Clark up the middle. He got wrecked out early in race 1. He's in the middle of the pack in race 2. There's a lap car up the road. How does everyone get around him?
It's going to get terrifying real quick. It looks like Lafferty, I think he's peeling off to the inside. He knows that he can't really be on the racing surface here.
Still going to get dicey mid-pack regardless. They all swerve around. The 5 of Sam Close following Clark up the middle. And Clark up to the 5th spot, giving the 15 a shove potentially.
Whoa,
oh no, crash behind him!
back.
Salmasso spins. And he jumped off the racetrack to try to avoid causing a yellow. I think we're actually going to escape one. So quick thinking on that part. And we stay green.
Yeah, amazed that wasn't a bigger incident there.
And some also on the quick thinking on the button to get out of the event quickly to not cause a yellow. And typically that's looked down upon, but when you're trying to avoid a yellow, I think it's a good decision, and Samasso did the right thing there. However, he's going to really not finish very well, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Race Clark up to third. Go ahead, Finian.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually saved Richard Hines. I was looking at the replay. He was directly headed towards Samasso with that saved. And how about Race Clark in the front out of nowhere? He's up racing for the lead.
Yeah, I guess it's time to race. And here comes Clark. In second place, a push from the 48. Look at the 48 of Skinner diving to the bottom out of turn 4. That's really been his move. I just don't know if he'll be able to do that once the tires wear off some more. 3 wide for the top spot again.
Ooh, and Zielinski bullies his way to the top, back onto the racetrack as Clark was pinching him down. Now Clark getting freight train on the inside. Oh, contact with
close.
Close.
Oh, that was really tight together. Oh no, the 52 spins. The 22 around as well. And Kolb and the 14 of Finn clobber each other on the back straight. Caution out. Paul Ross in it. Race Clark destroyed. And that's how quickly things change around here. 14 and 22 get together, and those 4 cars really what started it off. And Clark, a big impact, vicious hit to the inside wall. Wow. And Kolb kind of got blindsided there. And the 27 of Cogswell got tangled with the 14 of Finn. I'm not really sure who to put that on, Finney. Let me know what race control use that as, because I certainly don't really know where that lies.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm leaning a little bit more towards 22. I think should have gone more towards the wall. But I don't know. It's more a racing incident for me than anything.
Yeah, let's look at this in slow motion. Maybe we can get a better analysis of it. But the 22 of Race Clark. Oh, there was contact with the 5. So he was already out of shape exiting the corner. And I'm just trying to see if we can get this is a better view. The 14 and the 22. The 5 comes over, and I just don't think the 22 realized the 14 was there. I think that's all that was. But I do think the 22 moved over. Now the question is, will race control view it the same way? And here's one more look at it. And 5 car slides up. The 22 definitely comes down. But yeah, I don't think he was doing it to take advantage of the 14. I just don't think he knew he was there. And a vicious, nasty impact with the inside. All 4 tires up off the ground for the 22. Only 12 laps to go. And an interesting driver atop the board, Finian. Look at that 95, Josh Adams.
Yeah, and Adams looking like he's back in back in the swing of things. Him and Hanshaw after coming back from their race suspensions.
Derek Westrick in the 29. Terrible race 1. Got involved in a collision on the front straight. Race 2 has gone much better. Won't see any damage on that car. Been a pretty good run for him so far in race 2. That's the 39 of Dave Wilson, who is currently scored on the lead lap, but in 25th position. So we'll have a restart with about 10 to go, from my understanding. Maybe 11. I don't think we're going to get the 1 to green here necessarily. Westrick peels off for pit lane. Adams looks like he's content. He's got some damage on the nose. How much do you think that's going to affect him?
Hang on, let me just swing to the front. Ooh. That's kind of borderline for me. I think it is going to hurt him a bit. And it's quite a bit to the right front, so I don't know. We'll have to kind of see. You know, you can't entirely go over what's visual. We have to see how the car is handling. For his sake, I hope so. Otherwise, it's going to be a very dicey start for this 95.
All right, we're going to have 2 laps of caution left. We're going to jump to break real quick just to take a breather. We'll be back with you for the restart here in just a minute with 10 laps to go.
most, driving is just a mundane task between point A and point B. Nothing more. It's the frustration of traffic at 8 a.m. The feeling of sickness on a long ride. The car? Just a tool. It's supposed to be practical, reliable, and fast. But the speed is really the reason cars exist, born out of a necessity to make that A to B trip just a little bit faster. Some have a deeper connection with cars, found somewhere in the bond of man and machine, a desire to be part of something bigger than yourself. It's the extension of mind and body to something more exciting than just another appliance. And these people never cared about practicality or reliability. To them, the only thing that matters is speed. We're born with a competitive nature, part of a biological necessity that is not yet worn off with time. People have raced for thousands of years, and that competition has transcended history and found its way to the industrial age. Railroads raced to build across the country, replacing the horses whose strength is still used as a benchmark for power today. And as personal vehicles became popular, the railroads died off. What once was the quickest way across the country became snail's pace in comparison. The interstate highway system expanded and cars populated every driveway. And the competition between types of transport quickly transitioned into the race to have the fastest car. Bragging rights. Manufacturers like Porsche, Ferrari, and BMW emerged in auto racing, each trying to one-up the other. Building engines became an arms race. Who could build the fastest dinosaur-powered legs? So while the passion for cars has died for most, there are still people that are fascinated by racing. The sights, the sounds, the smell of burning rubber and spent race fuel lingering in the air. This is what attracts us to the sport of auto racing. We are empowered by drivers that climb in impossibly fast cars and put everything on the line for the sake of competition. Drivers who know that one slip up can lead to disaster.
Back for the final 10 laps of the race here at Michigan. Race number 13 of the season for the RaceKings Cup Series is green, 10 to go after our third caution of the night.
Yep, and Adams with a great start. Let's see how he can do up in the front of all this field. Everyone behind him with fresher tires. We didn't see it be a factor for Tanner Shorp. Will it be for the 95?
Well, he's got some front end damage too. I think that's going to affect him. But can we get these final 9 laps without a crash? Ooh, the 48's going to chase the 95 to the apron. Fair game there as long as the 48 can come back up without hitting the 95. Oh, Grunberg giving a big shove to Zielinski now.
And Adams getting completely swallowed up on either side. Zielinski, Grunberg to his outside, Frankenfield and Skinner to his inside. Also, here comes Lytle now with a big out of scheme.
Oh, Frankenfield chased down to the apron. The 95
Whoa.
scatters. Whoa, the 6 car takes someone all the way to the wall. That was Grunberg.
Oh, and Frankenfield almost spun Skinner off of his nose, and everyone checking up behind.
Yeah, no one's going to give an inch here. Look at Hanshaw up the middle now. And the 46, that got tight with Zielinski, and the 5 of close slips up middle of the corner too. 8 to go, and it's going to be chaotic these last couple laps. You've got to find room to race.
I think that room is going to come at a premium here. Everyone going for every single inch of track they can find.
Hanshaw in 5th place. This will be one of his best runs of the season. Meanwhile, look at Frankenfield all over Skinner. Now, where do you go? Do you help the 48? Do you dump the 48 on the last lap? How does this work for the 15? He's good in points, but he needs the victories.
Yeah, I think really he's just eyeing Grunberg, these guys getting bonus points for their win, so I think he's just trying to keep on to it with that 54. We'll see if the 15 comes to extremes here as he tries to get around Skinner.
Tate Lytle with a big run on the outside lane now. The 95 at Adams in behind him. Johnny Thomas is up inside the top 10 again for these last couple laps.
Yeah, Thomas has found his way back to the front here. He's in the middle, and it's 4 wide in behind them.
Oh, 4 wide. That's Kloosterhuis and Zielinski weaving, bobbing, and diving. The 95 drops to the back. Meanwhile, for the top spot, it's Skinner. Frankenfield to the outside with help from Lytle. 6 laps to go.
Ooh, Hanshaw.
Oh,
Hanshaw gets loose.
Big bobble. Does he save it? No, the 56 gets turned in front of the field. They're going to wad up on the turn 2. Big hit for Zielinski and Sweeting. Over on his lid goes the 6, and race over for the 6 car. Green-white checkered time, almost. I don't know if it will be green-white checker, but it's going to be awful close to it if it's not. And let's go back and look at this. This started, I believe, with the 46 slipping, and then it was the 6. Oh, that was just everyone getting together here. Hanshaw went hard in the wall, and then it was just a mess. I don't even know how to describe that.
Yeah, a lot of people taken out.
And points leader Gruenberg sneaking through again. How does he do that?
I honestly don't know. The way he got through there was something out of cars. He actually did get some decent nose damage, actually.
Oh yeah, he did clip the 6 car. But for Kyle Hanshaw, that's a shame for him. He was having such a good run. He bobbled mid-corner, and he chased up the racetrack. I think that's how he got into the tail of the 56. And the 83 of Johnny Thomas torn up in that as well. Chuck Sweeting, big impact for him.
Yeah, and for Zielinski, though, the string of poor finishes is going to continue. His last, now, 4 finishes are going to be all outside of the top 20.
Yeah, it's just he just cannot catch a break, and nothing he did wrong here at all. Just bad timing. And a wild ride inside that car too. There's a look in slow motion. You see that, I mean, that wadded up pretty much half the cars that were left somehow involved. Lytle in it. Wow, that 6 car really took a tumble. And Derek Westrick in the back in that 29 sneaks on through. Corey Lindsay, as does, I think that was, is that McKeevoy in the 21? Yes, it looked like it was. So caution out. More cars done, but this looks like it will be a green-white checkered. Is it saying it's going to be a green-white checkered?
It hasn't said it yet. I think once it gets close down to it, it will. But I think definitely will be green-white checkered.
Okay, well, RaceKings Cup Series action's been interesting tonight. This has been our 4th yellow flag. Run 9 caution laps. Significantly shorter period of time under yellow this time around. 18 lead changes. It's been a very competitive race. Who was it in? I think it was Sam Close that said we'll have the same number of cautions, but it'll be a lot closer and more exciting racing. I think it was Close, and so far he's been accurate. I do want to talk to him, though. Let's drag him in and just get his perspective on how everything's going. Hey, it's Sam Close. It's Kyle from the SimTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, it's gotten even more wild out there. I think it was you that said that you'd see about the same number of cautions, but in a different way with more intense racing. And right now you're sitting 4th. It'll be a green-white checkered finish. What are you going to do here to get yourself a W?
Just go all out. I mean, I think we still got enough tires to where the car will stick, so we can be a little bit more aggressive. The track is a little bit cooler temperature or something with the overcast, so there's more grip in the track in this race than there was last race. So let's see, go for it and see what happens.
Once the white flag comes out, it seems like drivers kind of forget that that their actions have consequences. That's typically how it runs. So how do you protect yourself once that white flag flies and you know there's going to be no more yellows?
I think just try to be as fast as I can, and I'm thinking probably try to get down to the bottom. I don't know how well the top is going to fare on this restart, so hopefully get to the bottom, kind of protect that way, and then try to get the nose in there and make a pass.
All right, well, good luck out there. Hopefully we see you in victory lane. Keep yourself out of trouble. That was Sam Close, and yeah, Levi Zielinski upset, and it really has been a terrible year, and not really anything that he's done wrong. I mean, there's been a couple mistakes that he's made, but nothing. I mean, most incidents have been other people's fault.
Yeah, he's really been a more of a victim of anything. He has not really caused his luck to himself. But I mean, yeah, I'm just looking at his finishes. I mean, and yeah, he's had just a very bad season so far. And again, like I said, not just own doing. He's had some really good finishes, but it's pretty much gone. Either he finishes up in the front. For example, he finished 2nd at Dover, Motegi, he finished 4th at Motegi and in the All-Star race too. Obviously, that doesn't count, but It's a good finish there, but yeah, just other than that, it's been a pretty abysmal season. I think one he wants to forget, or at least try to get back on track, and had a really good opportunity tonight too, but unfortunately he's going to end it in the garage.
Side note, did you know that Michigan has a road course?
Oh boy.
I'm just saying, these are the like.
Don't give.
Look, all I'm saying is that we should have the layout. That's all I'm saying. Right? I think that's fair.
Dear God.
I just want the roval. I don't care. Put a Charlotte chicane on the backstretch too to make it more exciting. All right, coming back, it's going to be 2 laps to go. And again, you're watching the flag, not the timing and scoring, which will not update with the extended distance of the feature, something that the new package that we have coming out the next couple of weeks will have in it, support for green-white checkers. Ruenberg going to be restarting 5th on the inside lane. He won race 1. He's got some damage, but who's your pick out of this top 5, Finian?
Out of this top 5, you know what? I'm going to go with Michael Skinner. I think he's got what it takes. He's been up in the front in both races consistently. I think he's going to be the one walking home with us.
I'm going to go with Chad Frankenfield, the man who is outside. He's been aggressive all night. Maybe he hasn't led a whole lot of laps, but he's in position. We'll see if he can do it here. Coming back to 2 laps to go here. Frankenfield already takes off. Green flag back in the air, 2 to go.
Oh, and yeah, I was going to say Frankenfield can't take off. He actually has to let off. There goes Michael Skinner at the line, and actually Frankenfield by 20 thousandths of a second. Just narrowly let by Skinner. Otherwise, that would have been a penalty, but off they go into turn 1. Klooster, who's now trying to move himself up.
Yeah, he tried to time it just right. Remember, we will have an attempt at a green-white checkered here. Oh, wow, look at the 94 to the inside and back out to the outside. A big swing elevator move, bottom to top for Kloosterhoos. A big run now. Now the 2 Mustangs working on the inside groove.
Yeah, how much longer will they work for as they go through NASCAR 3 and 4? Here they come, white flag in the air. One lap to go.
One more time around for the drivers as they come to the start-finish line. 2 miles left as they come to the start-finish line.
How about James Miller?
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Oh, my goodness, a horrible crash behind him. Frankenfield's out. Meanwhile, for the top spot, Michael Skinner's got it. Here comes Kloosterhoos in the 94, and here comes the 5 at Sam Close.
Either one of these drivers is trying to punch their way to the playoffs. This win can do it for them. Off the nose of Kloosterhoos.
He turned him into the apron. Side by side, they crash again. The 94 just being a wrecking ball out there, swerving. The 54 gets torn up. Who is going to get back to the line?
It's going to be Dave Hunt and Justin Kolb. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Kolb missing his nose. He will win this race.
Wow, he's going to get there at the line. He does. Justin Kolb wins the race. Wow. Justin Kolb victorious. Missing the nose on that car. He wins at Michigan. Gotta go back, though, and check out the 94 on this last lap. I think he took out about 3 cars on this last lap. And we have to go back and really find out if that was truly his fault before I'm very critical, because I'm about to be very critical if it is his fault. We talked about how it gets chaotic here. Here is a look. And first wreck was with the 48, and this might have been on... Yeah, the 94 just turns that 48 around, Finian. That's on the 94 there. And then he drives off into the next corner and really just takes out Close. So that was pretty disrespectful driving on the 94's part.
We'll see if this will get looked at, because I definitely think it will. 3Wide's definitely not been light on the penalties. So we'll see if anything happens to Kloosterhoos, because, yeah, within a turn, he ends up getting into 2 drivers pretty much of his own fault, so...
Yeah, and the 48 one, I mean, the 48 holds him down here, but if you watch, he doesn't force him below the line. The 94 chooses to go below the yellow here. At least that was my understanding of it. He chooses to go below the white, and he just turns back to 48.
Yeah, and you can't really clear yourself, you know, you're going down there of your own will, and, you know, Michael Skinner doesn't have to let off. He doesn't have to let Kloosterhoos turn back onto the...
No, and he has the option to go to the right here, and he didn't choose that way. He chose the left, and he just stuck with it, and just turns the 48, wrecked him. Then he goes up here and body slams the 5 car. And then, because of the result of that, he took out the points leader as well. But it led to a good finish between the front two.
Yeah, and actually, we should ride on board Justin Kolb on the last lap. He came across to the white flag in 9th.
All right, so let's ride on board with Justin Kolb coming to the start-finish line on the last lap. Here's his view. That 15 car up into the... Oh, he got that damage all in that one lap from the spinning and crashing cars from the turn 1 wreck. Then now he's running about 5th or 6th. See the 94 take out... Yeah, from this angle, it really shows how bad the 94 was. Taking out 2, 3 cars. And the C's part, Dave Hunt. Oh, and there was a push there from the 52. And then back to the start-finish line there. Let's go back and look also at the incident down in turn 1 with the 15 and Frankenfield. I want to go back, and I actually want to watch this in slow motion here. So this was with him in the 48, and I didn't really see how this started. So he's racing the 48, following him at the start-finish line. The 42 of James Miller is right behind him, and I think do these two get together?
Yeah, I think Miller they just ended up crossing at the same part of the track.
Yeah, the 15 moves over just a little bit. And wow. Brent Miller in it. Violent impact, though, for the 15. That was about as hard hit as you'll ever see in iRacing. That was a 180-mile-an-hour stop to 0. And he just moves over just a little bit. And they both straight into the fence. Okay, well, time to debrief here a little bit and take a look at how things turned out. Here's a look at your race results. Timing and scoring gets all wonky on the green-white checkered, so it has been corrected. Kolb, Hunt, Close, Hines, McKeevoy, your top 5. Johnny Thomas, Kevin Finn, Westrick, Skinner, Sharp, your top 10. Tate Lytle with an 11th place. Matt Grunberg, points leader, wrecked in the final corner, 15th. Although, with how the night went for the drivers chasing him in the points, it won't be a huge deal. All right, there's your results. We'll be back in just a moment with your race winner and a couple other people. Stay with us. Welcome back live to SimTV here now with Michael Skinner driving the number 48 Mustang. And Michael, that last lap didn't go the way you wanted, and I think we have you finishing. I got to look down all the way down the order. It was a P9 for you. Still not a terrible result, but you certainly had an opportunity to win and contact with the 94. Walk us through that last lap.
That was crazy. I mean, I knew once a caution came out with 95 or with 5 to go there, I was really wishing it was before iRacing had green white checkers, because we would have taken home a nice 1-2 there for Rebel Racing. but it is what it is. It's a last lap. Everything kind of gets crazy. I put the block on him and I closed off the bottom lane, and he just decided to go underneath it and then turn me, and then got into Sam going up the racetrack and kind of ruined 3 shots at a top 3 there. But that's super speedway racing with this package at this racetrack. So it is what it is. But it was a good run for Oval Racing. For a while there, we were 1, 2, 3 with myself and Levi and Chad there. So that was pretty cool, working together and clearing each other and trying to help each other out, trying to get Levi to victory lane so he could lock himself in the chase. But like I said, it was fun. It was a good night. Both races really didn't go how I wanted, especially qualifying P1 and leading a few laps there. But it's nice to come back, and we'll come get him next week.
All right, Michael Skinner, 9th place after leading the majority of the laps tonight in that number 48. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, guys.
All right, next on the list is going to be the driver of the number 5, Sam Close. Sam, you still came home in 3rd, but probably could have done a couple spots better. There was some contact with you in the 94. Just walk us through those last 2 turns at Michigan here tonight.
Those guys were going for the same spot down there. I know we have a rules thing about passing under the yellow line on the last lap. I think that should be strictly relegated for the front stretch coming to the checkered line. I don't really agree with going down on the apron to try and make a pass in the back stretch when you got a corner coming up. And then, on top of that deal, when you come back up the racetrack, you got, 3/4 of the racetrack I'm giving you to get yourself together and still come up and hit me. So it's a pretty disappointing deal right there. I don't know what we could have done differently other than get to the bottom a little bit sooner. But otherwise, a fun night, and I'll take 2 podiums. That'll be good for points.
2 podiums, good for points indeed. 3rd place for Sam Close in race 2. Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll talk now to the 53 of Dave Hunt, who came home 2nd place and only 65 thousandths of a second away from a victory. Dave, just walk us through that last lap, because it was chaotic from everyone's point of view. What was it like from yours?
It was like playing dodgeball. I was just trying to miss everything I could. And then in that last turn there, I didn't know if I was going to be good or not. I had to slow a little bit. And then next thing I know, I got a little hit from behind and seen the 52 pass me up, and I was just trying to catch him.
If you could redo those last 2 corners over again, is there anything you could have done differently to maybe get yourself that extra 65 thousandths?
Oh, boy, I wish there was something I could have done. Probably not maybe slow for that spinning car in front of me. Maybe that would have done it.
Looking back at Michigan as a whole, between race 1 and 2, which one was the one that you preferred? Did you prefer a little bit more throttle control and a bit more slippery slidey, or do you like the pack racing style that race 2 gave us?
I just like Michigan altogether, so just put any race at Michigan, and I'm fine with it.
All right, well, a 2nd place result for Dave Hunt. I believe, is that a career best for you, Dave? I think that's. I don't think we've talked to you before on a podium, so congratulations on that, and hopefully we'll see you up here a bit more.
Yeah, I think so. What? Thank you very much.
All right, have a good night, Dave, and we'll talk now with winner of the race, Justin Kolb, in the number 52 car. Dramatic finish. Turn 1 looked like it might be over for the 52. Front end completely torn off that car. Then we get down to the backstretch. Chaos in front of you, and the seas just part, and he managed to hang on by 65 thousandths of a second. Walk us through that last lap and coming home for your first victory of the season.
Man, I tell you, I called it in my chat. I said, they're all going to wreck in front of me just because of how chaotic this race has been. I said, they're all going to wreck. I'm going to come through and win this. And I didn't think I'd actually do that. But, that, like you said, the seas parted. And, man, I don't know if I've ever lucked into one this hard. But at the same time, definitely had a fast car. Just wasn't up. We were up there at one point, but kind of fell back. And, man, what a fun track to race on with the right people. And obviously, at one point in the race there, had a really fun time. I'm sure it looked great up here in the booth, but I don't know if I've ever screamed like a girl like that in a Discord chat, but I definitely did tonight.
We've been noticing the last couple weeks that 52 car has been running better and better and better. And is this just a huge confidence booster going into the latter half of the season to have a victory under your belt and just be running better each week?
Oh, absolutely. I guess we kind of just got all the bad luck out of the way early, and definitely I noticed it too. The finish is starting to get better, and definitely confidence going into the chase. Now we don't have to. I was worried about points and where we'd be sitting after the first race, not being able to go anywhere. And now we can just throw that all out the window and just race for real fun now these next couple weeks. So a lot of momentum heading into the chase, and definitely looking forward to it now.
We head to Daytona next week, and that's always kind of looming. We started off the season at Daytona. How does it change the second time around? Do you race it differently, especially knowing now that your chase situation is a little bit better off?
You definitely do, and definitely knowing that second time round is that old pavement, and definitely have to be a little, careful around that pavement, but can be a little less careful now, knowing that we're locked in, and it's just a weight off my shoulders, and it just allows me to go out there and have more fun than I already was having. These past couple weeks have just been a blast, and finishing out this regular season is just going to be so much fun. I'm ready to go.
Maybe a little bit of luck helping the 52 tonight, but you had to put yourself in position, Justin, so congratulations. Enjoy the victory. We'll see you next week.
Very much.
All right, that will wrap up the interviews tonight, Finian. Last lap, kind of a cluster, and it was a cluster hoose on the back straight. That's the nickname I'm going to dub.
I didn't take your pun license away. This is like the third one tonight. I didn't say anything about the other ones.
My pun license? Is that a thing? Well, the 94
pun privileges.
May be facing penalties after tonight. Again, can't speculate on what those might be, but I'd hope that it gets looked at, because that was about as many cars as you can wreck on the last lap without taking out the entire field. So separate incidents there for the 94, so hopefully that is a one-time deal. But Kolb comes on through. Talk to me about that victory, Finian. What does that mean for Kolb running into the chase now with that much more confidence?
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be a nice boost of confidence, like you're saying, just carry him on through the next couple races till the playoffs start. I mean, before he was already running pretty well. He's ninth in points, so he's got a pretty decent points position. So I don't think he was too entirely worried about this, but definitely it's, I think, a good weight off your shoulders, knowing that you're basically locked in at this point with a single win. So he can just kind of coast through the next few races, especially considering we go to Daytona next week, and not the new Daytona, the old one, Daytona 07.
Is that what's on the schedule for the Cup Series?
Yep.
That was just for the trucks. Okay. Good to know.
Oh, wait, actually, nope. I think you're right about that.
Well, good thing I paid attention too.
No, you're wrong about that.
Okay, well, it's in our schedule wrong, so you can't blame me for that.
Sorry.
All right, well, that's going to be what's coming up next week. The next race you're going to see is going to be Daytona 07 Yinzer Truck Series on Sunday night. Have a good one. We'll look forward to seeing you there. Thanks for watching.